Thursday night football in Bethany, Southern Nazarene, Ouachita Baptist live here from SNU Football Stadium on Children's Center Night. Thanks for joining us here at SNUathletics.com. Joel Reagan, James Hill. Thanks for returning to join us here for another broadcast, James. SNU still trying to get that elusive first win here at home, and Ouachita Baptist their opponent tonight.
Absolutely. SNU coming in with a 3-3 record here on the season already. It's probably been mentioned throughout the year, already matching or actually exceeding their win total in NCAA play with 3 wins on the season. They're also 3-3 in the GAC as well, but just kind of ironically, 0-3 at home, 3-0 on the road. Something you really don't see very often. Their last contest here at home against Southern Arkansas, a 27-15 loss. So an interesting matchup today here with Ouachita Baptist.
And last week was probably their best game here at home. Obviously, it's not hard to top a 59-0 loss, 52-0 loss, but they really played really well against Southern Arkansas. Just could not get past the Mule Riders. And an opponent here in Ouachita Baptist, who's 4-2 in the GAC, and we'll see what happens here on these two teams. Now, SNU has not beaten Ouachita Baptist like most of these teams in the GAC, and they've been beaten by pretty big-time scores. I think it was, if I recall correctly, it was like 176-52. So I think for SNU, one thing they have not been able to do, and even last week, is really get on the board early. They've been outscored in the first half by quite a bit. First quarter, 51-14. Second quarter, 69-9. So really for SNU, not digging themselves into a hole and keeping it in the ball game and getting in the end zone. We saw the first touchdown here in Bethany last week, but really being able to not have to settle for a 3, but get the 6. Big keys for Southern Nazarene, any ball game, but especially to get this first win here.
Well, and head coach Andy Lambert, that's got to be some of the points he's preaching here, is getting off to a good start. I mean, clearly in past contests, and especially in their losses this season, it has been slow starts that have hampered the Crimson Storm, where they've kind of been more of a second-half team throughout the season on both sides of the ball. So it's going to be key today to get off to a good start, not let things get out of hand early on where they're going to have to try and dig themselves out of a hole in the second half. And that'll be interesting to watch throughout this game is, can they get off to that fast start on offense? Can they get off to a good start on defense and get some stops? It'll be an interesting matchup to watch throughout the game.
Junior quarterback Jacob Spady, 6'5", 195 from Hinton. He's chasing records. He's now the 5th player in school history to rush for 1,000 yards in his career, now at 1,078. And he's just 21 yards passing to become the 6th player in school history to throw for 2,000 yards in his career. And if he gets those 21 yards and gets that 2,000, he'll be the only player in school history to rush for at least 1,000 yards pass for 2,000 yards. And he's about 500 yards away from 5th in all-time school history for passing. So Spady, obviously, when you start setting records like that, that's good. That's good for SNU. He's been a great player for SNU. And, we'll see. He scored the lone touchdown last week against Southern Arkansas. So they've used him. They've used his legs, sometimes more than his arm. But he's obviously a key component to the SNU offense.
And we'll keep an eye on Spady all game. He comes in with 473 yards rushing on 92 attempts. He's averaging about 78 yards a game. Heck, even more impressive, 5 yards a carry. He's almost sounds like one of the bell cows. You see it running back. You're seeing it from your quarterback. He's also rushed for 4 touchdowns. And then, as you mentioned, he's getting it done through the air. 55 for 101 this season, 7 touchdowns throw. Completion percentage just north of 50% at around 55%. And throwing for 583 yards this season. So Spady, they have to rely on both his arm and his legs. He's been able to prove that through most of the season.
One of the players to watch for Ouachita Baptist, Drew Harris, junior wide receiver. But he's a wide receiver, but they will run the ball with him a lot. And Ouachita Baptist will run the ball. He has Drew Harris leads the GAC in touchdowns with 13, but 11 of them on the ground. So, as we've seen a little bit with SNU, they will put a lot of different personnel packages back there. You may see a bunch of guys who are listed as wide receivers running the ball, and Ouachita Baptist does that, especially with Drew Harris.
And keep in mind, Ouachita Baptist last season, their 41-14 win in Arkadelphia, they rushed for over 300 yards. I think another guy you got to keep an eye on, as well as Drew Harris, who's obviously one of their major playmakers, will be Shunsey Thomas. He's listed as the second-string running back, but he ran for 149 yards a season ago. This rushing attack's going to be something that the SNU defense is going to have to be able to contain to try and give their offense some opportunities.
They will have to do a couple things. SNU's offense has not been great on third down, 32% on third down. Their opponents a little better, 43%. So for SNU, being able to convert on third down, once they've gotten in the red zone, they've scored. They haven't always scored touchdowns, especially here at home, but they've been able to get on the board. But third down has been tough for them, and they've also had issues. Early on in the game, it seems like they've had issues finishing drives.
Absolutely.
And that's a big key for SNU, and obviously – especially last week, third down stops were really important for SNU, and they've got to get more of those on defense as well.
And if you look on the other end with Ouachita, when they get in the red zone, they are one of the best. They are the number 1 team in the GAC in red zone offense, number 16 in NCAA Division II. So trying to keep them out of the red zone is going to be a task, hopefully, that they can accomplish here this evening.
Jacob Spady, one of the captains, also Jacob Rutter, and Stephen Price and Gennard Johnson, the 4 captains for Southern Nazarene, standing right there on the sideline at the 50, getting ready for the toss, coin flip before this ball game here.
And we see Ouachita Baptist, their captains have made their way onto the field. We have not turned them around yet, so we cannot see their numbers at this time.
They don't have TV numbers on the side, do they?
No, they do not. Looks like I see number 78, Cameron Alexander. Looks like number 62, maybe 63 actually. Check that. Tyler Garr, 25, Luke Holt, and 32, Elijah Jones. Those are your captains for the Ouachita Baptist Tigers.
SNU Crimson Storm enter the field, getting set for Thursday night football game here in the GAC. SNU and Ouachita Baptist here at SNUathletics.com.
Second game this year on a Thursday.
That's right. The opener was on Thursday, and SNU hoping to get their first win here at SNU Football Stadium. And obviously with the 3 wins on the road, put themselves in a good position here. I think SNU is already, there's a lot of, obviously when you've gotten beat, especially the first 2 ball games so badly, but SNU was, for most of the observers in the GAC, picked last in the conference, so they've already done more than I think a lot of people in this conference expected. And really, a Southern Arkansas team that's really good. They played really well with them last week and just fell short. So this is a team that has played really well.
And as Ouachita Baptist enters the field, keep in mind, those first 2 bad losses were 2 of their first 3 games of the year. Their last 3 games, they had the 1 loss, but they've played pretty well. Have gotten 2 wins, starting to maybe build some confidence. And this is going to be a tough contest with Ouachita Baptist. Obviously, a very good team they're going to take on this evening. So we'll see how things go, as looks like Southern Nazarene may have won the toss. We're waiting for the referee to give the signal of how the coin toss went. I think they're maybe waiting for the PA announcement to end before he goes on his mic.
Some folks there from the Children's Center there on the field.
So the Nazarenes won the toss and is deferred to the second half, which means Ouachita Baptist is going to start out with the ball here.
They will take the ball. You mentioned that those first 2 games, and we talked about Southeastern now 6-0, ranked number 19 in the coaches poll. And Southeastern has really played well. They're undefeated. Arkansas Tech, the other team, was ranked in the coaches poll. They just dropped out with a loss. But 2 big, they were really bad losses, but to some really good teams there in the GAC.
Absolutely. So interesting contest here today. So going from right to left, Southern Nazarene will get set to kick off. Ouachita Baptist will get set to receive. Crimson Storm in their maroon tops, white helmets with the bolt and white pants. Ouachita Baptist in the all-white uniforms, purple helmets, and purple numbers. So we will get set here between the Crimson Storm and the Tigers.
Right here. And the last time you were here, it was 2 storms. That was tough to
a lot of storms in the
right.
on the first game of the season. So we are set to go here and set to kick it off.
Beautiful Thursday night for football.
Absolutely. I believe 75 degrees we were told, with a little bit of wind. But
75 and 80 degrees and a little bit of wind, but great for football.
Carlos Anguiano is going to get set to kick off here for Southern Nazarene. And back deep for the Tigers will be Allie Freeman wearing number 4. And it looks like
Keandre Evans, I think, is the other guy.
Keandre Evans, I agree. Yep, looks like Evans and Freeman will be back to receive, and it is time for Thursday night football here in Oklahoma, here in the GAC. It is Ouachita Baptist and Southern Nazarene live here from SNU Football Stadium. James Hill and Joel Reagan here on the call this evening. We thank you for joining us wherever you are and hope you're excited for what should be a great football game as the football falls down due to that little win we're talking about.
Right, John Hill pushing all the buttons, and Lizette Casas on the camera.
Let's see if we can get the ball set up and try this again.
The next time they will have to have somebody hold it. So.
Absolutely. Let's see if it'll stay up.
Yeah, the flags are blowing pretty good there.
Yeah,
to the
decent
right.
win. The win at the backs of SNU to start the game.
So it'll be in the faces of the Tigers.
Could affect the kicking game. That'll be an interesting tidbit to watch throughout the day. As again, we're delayed here for just a moment.
And Griana kind of getting set, I think. Maybe not. I don't know what we're waiting on.
Not sure what's going on here. It looks like the clock. Yes, the clock is not set. Looks like they're restarting it right now. So
yeah, something's wrong with the scoreboard there, but that happens. So we'll wait on that here.
Getting that reset and ready to go here. So, well, Joel, while we're waiting, we kind of talked about some of the things here coming to this game. What do you think are some of the keys this evening for SNU?
I think as well. I think the big keys for SNU being able to have a little more balance. I think they're going to run the ball, but I'd like to see a good game from Reed Roloffs. He was really a big factor in their wins on the road. He was less of a factor last week, but I think if we see a good game for Reed Roloffs, a little more balance, I think, and really third down for SNU is going to be really, really important.
Anguiano comes forward and sends it away, and we are underway. Freeman's going to take it about 6 yards deep in the end zone. We'll take a knee, and it will be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for Ouachita Baptist here at the 25-yard line. And Austin Wofford, the quarterback of Ouachita Baptist, steps onto the field, ready to get things started here for the Tigers.
Jekyll Davis, one of the players for SNU in the cornerback position. He's a backup in both cornerback positions. He's played really well for SNU. Derek Carmouche has been a GAC Defensive Player of the Week in past weeks. Some key players there for the Crimson Storm.
Pistol formation here for Wofford. 2 receivers to his left. You have Chris Oliver in the backfield. And Oliver is going to take the handoff. He heads to his right side, and he's got a lot of room. Cuts back to the middle, and he's finally gang tackled around the 45-yard line. About a 20-yard gain for Oliver, but a flag on the field back at the 25.
Also, Noah Wells is injured.
He's in a lot of pain, it looks like, as well.
Right at the 25-yard line.
And it's going to be a hold, it looks like. So this is going to send Ouachita Baptist back 10 yards after the good run by Oliver. But we are going to get a timeout.
Wells, a sophomore from Putnam City North here in the Oklahoma City area, but he is being attended to, and like you said, he was writhing in pain. So not sure what it is, but he is not feeling good there.
It looked like he was clutching around his knee area, which
right.
definitely has some concern when you're grabbing the knee and in that much pain. He's recovering from a knee injury from past years,
okay.
So that it looks like could be something reoccurring, and so hopefully our best thoughts with him. They're gonna send. It was a holding call, Ouachita Baptist, so they will go back 10 yards to the 15, and we'll face 1st and 20. But we'll stay with it.
Right. Nice piece of running by Oliver once he got to get the extra yards and made a nice little cut there.
Absolutely.
On the Crimson Storms, and hopefully it looks like that Wells might be able to. He's getting up on his own power. He's going to have some help, but
get a little bit of help coming off the field, and
there's not like he can put a lot of weight there. So that's not a good news for Southern Nazarene.
So our best wishes here with Wells as he steps off the field. So it'll be 1st and 20 here for Ouachita Baptist after the negated 20-yard run by Chris Oliver. As you said, Oliver, an impressive run there, redshirt junior at Arkadelphia, standing at 5'8", 170, but showed some great get-up as he got to the outside there.
Nice little cut right about the 30 that kind of sprung him for more yards, but the penalty negates the play. 1st and 20, I guess.
So Warford, will this be in a shotgun formation? Oliver to his right. 2 tight ends in the game. They'll send a man in motion, and it will be a jet sweep here to Allie Freeman. Not a lot of room there, and he is tackled. Looks like about maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain. Actually, we'll give him 4 there on the run.
I think we'll see a lot of that, not only to Freeman, but we'll see a lot of that with Drew Harris involved. And SNU able to snuff it out there, and still second down and long for the Tigers.
Tristan Slinker was the first one to get a hold of Freeman there, and so it'll be 2nd and 16 here for the Tigers.
Slinker with 41 tackles head into this ball game.
Warford back in shotgun formation. He's got 4 receivers, 2 to each side. And Freeman's going to come in motion again, and they're going to get a quick screen pass out to Drew Harris, the man we talked about in the opening segment, and he gets dropped after about a 3-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and long here for the Tigers.
Great job by SNU right there, flying to the football and not letting Harris really be able to go anywhere in space. And so a 3rd and long upcoming for Ouachita.
Like Angel Hernandez and Josh Jordan both in there on the tackle. So we face 3rd down here in 13. SNU looking to get off a 3-and-out, exactly what they could be looking for early on. Shotgun formation for Wofford. 2 receivers each side. He's going back to pass, looking to his left, still looking. Now he's going to take off up the middle. He's got a lot of green, and he will take to the outside. He's got the first down. He's passed, gets tackled around midfield, and that is a huge gain there for Wofford. A 1st down for Ouachita Baptist.
Wofford, a redshirt senior from Malvern, Arkansas, 5'10", 200. Just right there, kind of broke down, and he once he kind of stepped up, he had lots of green in front of him.
Not a lot of pressure on that play, and once he, as you said, once he saw it open up, he saw he had a lot of green and just took off. So a big gain to the 48-yard line of Ouachita Baptist, back in that pistol formation for Wofford, and he will hand it off to Oliver. Oliver with a big hole and a big carry into SNU territory, finally dropped around a 33-yard line, and Ouachita Baptist starting to move it here.
This is one thing as well that Southern Arkansas did, was run the ball up the middle, and I think Ouachita might have seen this in the game film from last week, and SNU really not been able to stop the run up the middle.
Pistol formation again. Oliver in the backfield with Wofford. They'll hand it again to Oliver. Nice little cut there, but he's dragged down. May have lost a yard there. Great play. It looks like number 22, Daniel Flynn, in on the tackle.
Flynn, a 5'10", 170 junior from Crowley, Texas.
Nice play there.
Nice play. And like we said, this is going to be important for SNU. This is one thing the last week they really struggled with, was stopping the ball up the middle. And so I think you might see a little bit of this as well from Ouachita, really saying, okay, can you stop us?
Yes.
And running until SNU can.
Shotgun formation for Wofford here. 2 receivers to each side. You can see one receiver lined up behind another. Could look at like a quick hit formation type here, and it will be something quick. And it will be no gain there. The pass out to number 82, Zach Kelly, and he is dropped immediately.
Dorian Harris on that tackle right there. Great open field tackle right there.
Absolutely.
By Harris.
And so another 3rd down situation, 3rd and 10 this time. Ouachita Baptist already had 1 3rd and long and was not able to convert. Now they're going to face 3rd and 9. Shotgun formation here for Wofford. 3 receivers to his left. You can see Harris in one of the slot formations. Could be somebody they're looking to here. Wofford back to Platts. Blitz is coming. He steps up, and he makes a couple moves, runs up the middle, and he will be dropped eventually. And it looked like roll with the tackle there, and it'll be 4th down.
Nice play there. We saw earlier when Wofford got loose and got it there for a big gain. SNU able to keep him there and not the big gain, so I guess it'll bring up 4th down. We'll see what they do. Looks like they will probably go ahead and go for it here. 4th and 5 from their 28.
Mentioned wind is blowing right in their faces. Could make a field goal tough here, so
right.
It's going to be 4th down, about 5 to go. Wofford in shotgun formation. 2 receivers each side. He is back to pass, looking, and it's caught by Freeman, and that will be enough.
No, they're
going to say incomplete. He did not come up with a catch, and a big stop for the SNU defense.
Looks like Slinker was on the coverage on that one for SNU, but a big stop for SNU right here. They're not able to stop on the 1st to 3rd down conversion, but this time they are.
We're going to take a quick break. SNU will take over at their own 28-yard line. You're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. And we're back here. No score. 10:31 remaining in the first quarter. First offensive possession here for SNU. Jacob Spady in the shotgun, in the pistol formation, I should say. Man in motion, and they will hand it off to Nate Walker. Or I take that back. It's Zach Walker, and he picks up about 5 yards, so a good 5-yard gain on the jet sweep.
Nice job there. really, I think part of the key there for SNU as well is putting yourself in manageable situations when you come to third down. So now about 4 yards on first down, so 2nd and 6. And if you have a nice little play here, you have a manageable third down, or get the first down right here.
And Spady again in that pistol formation. Ramos in the backfield. Spady back to pass. A nice little pass here to roll-offs, and a tackle on the play by Keandre Evans. About a 3-yard gain there, and here you go. You're third and manageable at 3rd and 3.
Exactly. Roll-off 6'5", 180 from University Place, Washington. Averaging about 15.1 yards a catch. So you really want to get him involved, and he was a big factor in their wins on the road. And we want to see him kind of get more action. He will step out here, replaced by Devin Brady.
3rd down and 3 for the Crimson Storm. And we've talked about trying to start fast. This could be a situation to pick up a first down and keep this drive going and getting something going here for this SNU offense in the first half. Spady's going to be in the shotgun formation. Ramos to his right. Walker comes in motion. They'll actually hand it to Ramos. Ramos going up the middle. He's going to be close, and I think he powered forward and got the first down at the 39-yard line. Good job to keep moving there by Daniel Ramos III.
Ramos really, he really did not be able to run the ball very effectively last week, so he's another person, too, we want to kind of see some more from, but a great first down pickup there.
So 1st and 10 for the Crimson Storm at the their own 39-yard line, as they will look to the sidelines for the call. Looks like it'll be a shotgun formation. 2 backs to each side of Spady. And they will send Walker in motion. It'll be a quick flip out to Zach Walker. He's got a lot of room. He's down the sidelines, and he's just pushed out of bounds by Tyreek Harris at the 48-yard line. And the Crimson Storm have moved into Ouachita territory.
Nice job by Walker there. He kind of bobbled the ball at first, but caught the ball. Didn't start running before he caught it, and a big gain for the Crimson Storm now on the Ouachita side of the field.
So 1st and 10. A nice start to this drive here for the SNU offense.
But this has kind of been the MO. They've started off some drives early in ball games here, but have not been able to finish here in the first half. So SNU needs to finish.
Shotgun formation here for Spady. 1 back to his right, man in motion, and they will hand it off. And there's a lot of room down the right side, and that was number 15, Reese Carlson. Another first down for SNU as they go down to the Ouachita 35.
Carlson, a receiver, but like you said, a lot of skill position players will take those handoffs like that, and a great job by Carlson, the junior from Washington.
Harris finally able to bring him down. And the safety already with a few tackles as the SNU offense able to find some gaps here in the early going. Spady back in shotgun formation. 1 back to his left, 2 receivers to his right as he looks to the sideline. Walker in motion. They're going to hand it to him. Oh, and he slips. He had some room, too, but he just he was about to cut it right back up and maybe could have picked up a few yards, but he slipped and ends up losing 3.
Not sure if it's just because early in the ballgame, we had a couple of slips last week early in the ballgame as well, but like you said, he had some room there and just kind of slips and falls, and unfortunately, unless you're at a Union Owasso game in high school football in Oklahoma, you're down.
Absolutely.
We actually had a fumble recovery for a touchdown where the guy was down and ran it back 98 yards for a touchdown. So it doesn't always happen that way, but most of the time in high school and college, you're going to be down.
Shotgun formation here on 2nd and 13 for SNU. 1 back to the right of Spady. Carlson's going to come in motion this time, and they give it to Carlson, and he breaks a tackle, and he's going to get tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle there by number 32, Elijah Jones, as he's finally able to bring him down. That'll bring a 3rd and long.
So it's a tough play to run when you get some folks in penetration, and Carlson able to get away from the first guy but not the second guy. So now, unfortunately, what we talked about, SNU 3rd and long, 3rd and 13, this is where the Crimson Storm have struggled.
Great stiff arm there by Carlson. When he got to the outside look, he was going to lose about 4 or 5, and he threw just a lethal stiff arm there to get away from the would-be tackler, but just couldn't get much further. So they're going to call it 3rd and 12 here for SNU. Spady in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers to his left. And he had play action, back to pass, looking, throws it, and it came away. What a catch there.
Might be short, though.
By Devin Brady, but he's going to be about a yard short, and I imagine we'll see what the decision is here on 4th, and it looks like it'll be 4th and 2, and it looks like there is no decision. They're lining up to go for it.
3rd catch by Devin Brady, the 6'3" sophomore from Waxahachie, Texas.
It's actually going to be 4th and 1
Spady, shotgun formation. Carlson's going to come in motion. Oh, they got him to jump off sides, and that should be on Ouachita Baptist.
Yeah,
it looked like number 45, Lake Tucker, came across first.
Blake Kalman did jump after that, but after the defender had to cross the line. See what the official call is.
And it will go against Ouachita Baptist.
Big right there.
That was a great hard count there by Spady as they hurried up to the line and got something quick going. And so it'll be a first down for SNU as they move up to the Ouachita 21-yard line. And so here we go. Now we're in the situation as we talked about in the pregame show. Can they finish this drive with points?
Almost inside the red zone. They've been able to score, but they need to finish with 6. That's what's really important as well.
Spady in the shotgun formation. Ramos to his left. 2 receivers also to the left, including Nate Walker. Carlson comes in motion, and that's going to be a great read option there by Spady right up the middle. Touchdown, SNU. Jacob Spady, 21-yard run.
Great job right there. They've been running that handoff there to Carlson most of the ball game, and the defense bites, and Spady almost untouched there for the touchdown.
Beautiful read, and I'm telling you, he saw that hole and hit it very, very well, and that's going to bring up Anguiano here on the extra point. The junior out of Ashdown, Arkansas, setting up, looking to increase this lead to 7.
They got 6 here in the first half, first quarter here, first time here in Bethany.
And the PAT is up. And it is good. A great start here for Southern Nazarene. 5:15 left in the first quarter. Your score, SNU 7, Ouachita 0. You are watching SNU Athletic. You're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. .5:15 to play here in the first quarter. Your score, SNU 7, Ouachita Baptist 0. A great first drive here for the Crimson Storm.
5th touchdown for Jacob Spady on the ground, and we saw one last week as well from Jacob, the first one here at SNU Football Stadium. And a great first drive. Got a little help, though, on the offsides, though. But, hey, the hard count, that's what you run right there on 4th and 1. And just a great finishing drive for Essen here in the first quarter. That's good to see.
Well, we talked about a perfect setup play. They kept running that speed sweep, and then you hit them with the option read on the speed sweep, and that hole was just wide open for Spady, who just hit it at full speed and, as you said, almost untouched into the end zone. Anguiano, the foreign exchange student from Barcelona, set the kickoff. Freeman and Evans back deep for Ouachita Baptist. As we said, 7-0 SNU leading here in the first quarter. Something we haven't said a lot here in Bethany. SNU has the early lead.
That's absolutely right.
And there's the deep kick, and that will send Freeman back about 8 yards deep in the end zone. He takes a knee, and it's a touchback, second one of the day.
Well, obviously right now you're dealing. You've got the wind at your back, so I think we'll have a lot of touchbacks like that as well. But SNU wants to take advantage of this first quarter when they do have the wind to their back.
Absolutely.
And in the face of Ouachita Baptist, because it'll flip here in the second.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for Ouachita Baptist. Checking in is Shunsi Thomas. We mentioned him that he had 149 yards in their last meeting in Arkadelphia last season, and he's going to take the handoff here, and he heads to the left side. A couple nice cuts, but that's about it. He picks up maybe a yard. SNU defense shuts him down on the first play.
Bunch of SNU. This is the host of SNU players. I saw Dorian Harris on that one. And a lot of SNU players, Anthony Stevens, I think, also
Jake
in on that
Hansen
tackle.
also in there. So quite a few of them shutting down Thomas on his first carry. And actually, that will bring Oliver back into the game. Actually, both Oliver and Thomas. Looks like a wildcat formation with Oliver going to be taking the snap here. And he's going to take it and go to his left side. He's got a little bit of room, and he gets towards the left side and is forced out of bounds. Roll forcing him out, and that's going to set up, looks like about 3rd and 5 here for the Tigers.
I think we're going to see a lot of running there from Ouachita Baptist. We've already seen it so far, and I think they're just going to dare SNU to stop the run here. And obviously, going into the wind as well, you're not going to see a whole lot of throwing the ball, a lot of screen passes, that type of thing.
3rd and 5. Can SNU get a stop here and get off the field? 3rd and 5 set up here. Warford in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers each side. He is back to pass. Blitz coming. Throw fires down the middle, and it is caught by Drew Harris. He gets enough for the first down. Looks like about a 10-yard gain, and it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 42.
Anthony Stevens on the pressure just a second or two late. Did a really good job, though, when he got there, realizing the ball was thrown and able to kind of spin off and just kind of barely bump the quarterback. So great job by him there, avoiding the penalty.
And the GAC leader in touchdowns, Drew Harris, is going to go back in the Wildcat formation now. He will take the snap. Nobody in the backfield with him. So let's see what Harris does here. Actually, Freeman's going to come in motion. They fake the handoff on the speed sweep, and he's going to go to the right side, and he will pick up a 4-yard gain before he is dropped, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Seen a lot of different formations, like you said, a lot of Wildcat formation, kind of direct snaps, that type of thing, trying to keep SNU's offense, defense on skates here, and they've done a decent job. Right now, obviously, of course, Ouachita Baptist moving the ball a little bit, almost at midfield.
Warford comes back into the game. They'll get back into pistol formation with Shunsi Thomas in the backfield, and we'll send the tight end in motion, and they will hand it to Thomas. Comes right up the middle, and coming off the left side was Angel Hernandez to bring him down. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Nice job by Hernandez. From Huntington Beach, California, there in Orange County. Coming off the edge here and making the play, just coming down the line. 3rd down and 4. SNU needs to get a stop here.
So another 3rd down situation coming up here for Ouachita Baptist. Shotgun formation for Warford. 2 receivers each side. Thomas in the backfield. And Warford back to pass. He looks to the left side, and it is caught. A nice catch there by Drew Harris. He was
Derek Carmouche.
Yeah, it was all over him.
Great coverage right there. Just a good catch on great coverage, and they get the first down, and now they're in SNU territory.
So it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Chris Oliver checking back in at running back. So Drew Harris, after a little bit of a quiet first possession, starting to make his mark here. And actually Oliver in that Wildcat formation is going to come to the right side, and he is going nowhere. And it looks like the first one to get him was Anthony Stevens. He pushes forward for about 2 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
Stevens with the first contact there, and a couple of the folks bring him down from Harker Hill Heights, Texas. A sophomore, 5'10", 156, and he's got 18 tackles heading into today's ball game.
So 2nd and 8 here for the Tigers, back in that pistol formation. 2 tight ends in the game, and then a receiver to each side. Warford takes the snap, hands it off to Oliver. He comes to the right side, and a great tackle by Josh Jordan there. About a 2-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 6.
Ouachita Baptist is saying, we're going to run. Can you stop us? And SNU has been able to stop them a few times here. We'll see, especially up the middle and off the tackles.
Now the question is, if they go back to pass here on 3rd,
right,
can they come away with a stop here?
Because they did get the first down on the great catch there earlier to keep this drive going.
Well, they have 2 completions actually on 3rd down. So
right,
here comes the 3rd and 6 here. Warford, shotgun formation, looks to his right side. There's going to be a flag. He's going deep to the left side, and a beautiful catch there by Ladarius McElroy, and he gets it all the way down inside the 4. However, we have a flag down, and it looks like it may be against Southern Nazarene because nobody's coming back towards the flag.
Yeah, it looks like it will be an offsides penalty against SNU, which will be declined. McElroy might have got a little push off there to kind of get the separation, but no flag there. And looks like Ouachita Baptist will be inside the red zone.
McElroy, a good-looking athlete, 6'6", 210 senior out of Ashdown, Arkansas. So a lot of size out there as he was just able to go up and get that jump ball.
So it'll be first and goal from the 4.
And Drew Harris is going to go back in this Wildcat formation. We are under a minute left here in the first quarter. And Freeman they're going to fake the handoff. Harris is going to go right up the middle, and he pounds it forward and into the end zone. Rushing touchdown number 12 for Drew Harris, and the Ouachita Baptist Tigers are on the board.
Third down was tough for SNU in that drive. The 3 third-down conversions lead to the touchdown, and we're getting ready to be tied up pending the extra point attempt.
And coming on to kick the extra point will be Cole Antley. As Antley's going to come on looking to even things up here. 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And the PAT setup here. Antley kicks it. It is up, and it is good. So 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Your score, SNU 7, Ouachita Baptist 7. You are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. .26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. We are tied at 7 between SNU and Ouachita Baptist. Antley getting set to kick off. You got Jekyll Davis and Derek Gillis back deep for SNU.
Tough on third down for SNU in that drive, and Ouachita Baptist able to take advantage with 3 big third down conversions and the touchdown.
Antley sets up, steps forward, and the kickoff into the wind is off. And it will be taken by Davis at the 7-yard line. He's looking for some room. He's got a little bit of a crease, and he's finally hit right at about the 19-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for SNU.
Really kind of ran into his own man and ran to kind of a bunch of people. Devin Brady was in there trying to get a block there, and it kind of stopped it. But we were talking about that, it was going to be interesting. Ouachita Baptist kicking into the wind, and they were able to SNU able to get a few yards, but not a whole lot of yards.
They were able to pin them at before the 20-yard line, which was a great kickoff coverage on their part. And actually, for kicking into the wind,
wasn't a bad kick.
Antley got it down to around the 7. Not bad. We got to say about 10, 15-mile-per-hour wind coming in today.
Right.
It's blowing pretty good here at SNU Football Stadium. And so Spade's second drive coming up, a successful first drive here for the Crimson Storm. They're going to set up in this pistol formation with Ramos behind Spade. They will send Walker in motion, and they will hand it to Walker. He cuts up and does not get much, may have even lost a yard there. And that'll bring up second down, but I believe before that, we are going to go to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, clock running down, 7 all here as we end the first quarter of action.
And so a exciting first half, some offense on both sides. As we mentioned, your score, the SNU Crimson Storm 7, the Ouachita Baptist Tigers 7. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. Back here at SNU Football Stadium, 7-7 your score between Ouachita Baptist and SNU. It is 2nd and 10 for the Crimson Storm at their own 19-yard line. Spady in that pistol formation. They're going to send Walker in motion. And looks like a little bit of a busted play. Spady's going to take it and go out of bounds at the 17, where he is forced out by Keandre Evans. That's going to bring up 3rd down. But before that, we have a flag down.
Nate Walker and Reese Carlson collided in that play right there. So somebody was going the wrong way, and then we got the flag as well. So busted play all around for the Crimson Storm.
Well, Spady points to Ouachita Baptist. It looks like it's going to be against the Tigers here, so they may have caught a break on the busted play. And it's a face mask, and that's going to be a 1st down for SNU. So a nice break here for the Crimson Storm.
Helps with the field position a little bit as well. It's almost kind of like starting the drive over again.
Couple quick hit stats from the first quarter. Spady 3 for 3 passing, 27 yards. He also has the touchdown run, 1 carry for 21 yards. Reese Carlson 2 carries for 14 yards. On Ouachita Baptist side, Warford 6 for 7 so far for 66 yards. Warford also has 30 yards rushing. Oliver with 26 yards rushing on 2 carries. Then Harris with the touchdown run. McElroy with 37 yards receiving, and Harris with 23 yards receiving. So a couple quick hitters there from the first quarter. A lot of action on both offenses so far this afternoon. If you're joining us, SNU defense got a big stop on 4th down and took the early 7-0 lead before Ouachita Baptist responded at the end of the quarter. 1st and 10 here for SNU at their own 34-yard line. Spady, a nice read option to Ramos, and actually he's going to be dropped. Going to lose about 2 yards on the play. Ouachita Baptist had that scouted out and was able to drop him. Looked like Shaquille Hunter, the first one to get in the backfield.
Also, looked like Luke Holt on there on the tackle as well. Not much going on there. Too many white shirts there with penetration, and there just wasn't a very good answer on that play.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 12 after the loss. Spady in the shotgun formation. As Walker's going to come in motion, puts 3 receivers on the right side. Spady back to pass under some pressure, steps forward, dumps it off to Carlson. He's going to pick up around 5 yards before he is dropped by Hunter, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Actually, Reed Roloff's there on the catch there, but there's just a short, not much to do there. Just kind of dump it off there, and there wasn't a whole lot of room for Roloff to run either.
For Roloff's 2nd catch of the day, and it's 3rd and 8 here for SNU. So a 3rd and long here. See if SNU can keep this drive alive. We are early in the 2nd quarter. 7-7 your score.
Ouachita Baptist getting a lot of folks in the backfield here.
Spady, 3 receivers to his right. He's back to pass. He's going to look for roll-offs again. Oh, and he just dropped what would have been a huge gain. And it was interesting. It looked like Shaquille Hunter kind of just stopped there for a second. It looked like as Roloffs was trying to bring the ball in, Hunter kind of stopped and was looking for a push-off or something.
There was a little bit jousting between both of them there, but Roloffs would have been a great catch, but catchable ball there and just unable to bring it down, and SNU has to punt.
Anguiano's going to go back and punt for the first time today. Allie Freeman, the sophomore wide receiver from Little Rock, Arkansas, we've called his name a few times today, will be back to receive. Anguiano's punt is up. And Freeman's going to come over. It looks like he got it a little bit off the side of his foot. Not a great punt, and it's going to go out of bounds. There's going to be touchdown around the 40-yard line, and that's where the Tigers are going to take over in their own territory. And so we will take a quick break here. You're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com.
Noah Wells on the sideline and crutches, re-aggravating an earlier injury, so probably not going to see him the rest of the ball game. 7-7 here, about 13:01 left to play here in the second quarter.
Wofford's going to be in the shotgun formation. Oliver in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to his left. 2 tight ends also in the game here for the Tigers. Wofford's going to hand it off to Oliver. He goes up the middle and picks up about a 4 or 5 yard gain before a host of Crimson Storm players bring him down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
Once again, running up the middle, and SNU going to have to stop the run here because that's pretty much what a lot of what Ouachita Baptist is going to do. Now, they do have the wind at their back this time. We saw that with Anguiano's punt, not going very far, but we'll see how the second quarter each team reacts with the change of field.
2nd and 5, pistol formation here for Wofford. 1 running back in the backfield, and that is Oliver, who takes the handoff, goes up the middle, and he will pick up a first down right around midfield. And looks like Stevens was the one who finally dropped him. So into SNU territory goes the Tigers, and it is 1st and 10.
Stevens with the first contact, and it's kind of kept holding on as the ball carrier dragged him there, and now over the SNU side of the field at the 49.
1st and 10, and the Tigers are going to remain in this pistol formation with 2 tight ends. And I think, as we've said a few times, they're going to keep running the ball until it is stopped. And Oliver's going to take it again, goes to the right side, keeps pushing forward, and he's going to get a 2 yard gain. Looks like the big nose guard, possibly Beletic, got in there and was able to wrap him up first.
Beletic, 5'11", 264 from Killeen, Texas, senior. And I think you're right. I think we're just going to see we're just going to run up the middle until you guys can stop us. And so far, SNU has had mixed results there.
Shotgun formation here for Wofford. And Oliver to his left. Still 2 tight ends in the game. They're going to do a quick hitch out to Freeman. Freeman in the open field. Great tackle on the play by number 21, Dorian Harris. That was a big tackle because there was a lot of green if he gets by Harris.
Absolutely. If Harris doesn't make that tackle, I think he scores on that. And he makes a good open field tackle. We've seen a couple great open field tackles by the Crimson Storm, and they have been very important. And it brings up a 3rd and about 5 for Ouachita Baptist as they change the personnel out here.
3rd and 5 from the SNU 44. And looks like we're going to see this Wildcat formation again with Drew Harris, already 1 touchdown on the day, the GAC leader in touchdowns this season. And he will send Freeman in motion, fakes the handoff, up the middle, first down. Well, he'll be right at the first down. I think he did fall forward for the first down.
He's got it, I think.
And that will move the change there for the Tigers as Harris continues to make his mark in this game.
SNU defensive line is having a tough time getting off their blocks and getting in a position to make a tackle. We know they're going to run up the gut there, and they're not really getting off of their guy and be getting in a position. And a good job by the offensive line for Ouachita Baptist.
Shunsi Thomas checks into the game at running back. Austin Wofford back in at quarterback in the shotgun formation with Thomas to his right. Freeman in motion. They're going to hand it to him on a jet sweep. Actually, it'll be kept by Wofford, and he picks up a 5 yard gain before being taken down by Jake Hansen.
It's going to see a lot of running and passing here and there, maybe on 3rd down for Ouachita Baptist, kind of their recipe, and here they are driving in the heart of SNU territory.
2nd and 6. And, you know, even with SNU, as we said, a 7-7 game, we've talked about their first half woes. See if they can do something here, maybe to hold them to a field goal and keep things close here in the first half, as it will be another Wildcat formation with Drew Harris. Freeman in motion. It's fake to Freeman, and again, Harris right up the middle. And he's going to be right around the chains for a first down. He's going to be very close. He may be about inches short. They're actually going to call him a yard short. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
He's got explosive speed, and he gets little holes right there. SNU defensive lineman not able to get out of these blocks here.
And you got to watch Freeman. They're setting up something at some point where they're probably going to hand it off to Allie Freeman on this jet sweep at some point in the game if they start really focusing in on Harris, who's back in the Wildcat formation. He's going to go up the middle again. And they're able to stop him. I think he might be short. He's going to be very close. They may measure here. But Harris was right around that yard line. But
might be a yard short, I think.
He actually lost a yard on the play. So a big stop for SNU. And that's going to bring up 4th and 1. The Tigers are 0 for 1 on the day on 4th down. They're going to stay in the Wildcat formation. I imagine it might not be very different than what we've seen.
No, probably a lot more of the same. Can SNU stop it?
4th and 1, and we're going to get a timeout. Timeout. Ouachita Baptist. 8:33 here in the second quarter. And we're going to take a quick break with them as you are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. .8:33 to play here in the first half. 7-7 is your score between Ouachita Baptist and Southern Nazarene. And Ouachita Baptist facing a 4th and 1 here from the SNU 29. They are 0 for 1 today on 4th down conversions. Harris runs it up the middle. He's not going to get it. The SNU defense with a huge stop. He actually fumbled the ball. Doesn't matter. Huge stop for SNU.
Ali Freeman, I think, ended up with it, and SNU still able to stop it. Huge stop, and they get the ball back. 2nd, 4th down that Ouachita Baptist has not been able to convert. Now SNU needs to take advantage here.
And they're going to start with good field position.
I'm curious if Ouachita didn't kind of went away from what they were doing before.
Yeah.
Just right up the gut, and SNU benefits, and they're able to stop things kind of on the edges. But,
well, it was good to see those last 2 plays. SNU finally getting some penetration. Maybe mixed in a couple blitz packages there, but that was kind of on that wildcat formation. That's the first time we've really seen some penetration on the SNU side of things. So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Crimson Storm. Spady's going to start out, looks like in a pistol formation as they get the football switched out. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. 7-7 is your score with 8:27 remaining. If you're SNU, you would love to see maybe a long 4 or 5 minute drive that can result in some sort of points here before half, especially with how much Ouachita Baptist runs the ball. You put them in a tough situation with less time remaining. So let's see what this offense can do in this situation as Spady starts in the pistol formation, 2 receivers to each side as they look to the sideline. Play clock down to 10 seconds. Now they move to the shotgun formation as Ramos steps up. Walker's going to come in motion. That'll be Zach Walker. He gets to the outside, has a little bit of room for he is hit hard around the 36-yard line, 35-yard line. Big hit there like by number 20, Tevin Jones, but a 4-yard gain for the Crimson Storm.
Not sure if it matters too much for Walker getting those handoffs. A little bit of delay to make sure he gets the ball there, and then obviously kind of puts him a little behind there. And short gain right there, but I wonder if it's a clean kind of handoff there if he gets more.
One of Zach Walker's first touches since the first drive. He had 2 or 3 on that first drive that resulted in points. As it'll be 2nd and 6 here for the Crimson Storm, back in that pistol formation. But again, they look to the sideline. And it's now a shotgun formation, still 2 receivers each side. Carlson in motion. He's going to take a jet sweep. Actually, it'll be kept by Spady, and he has nowhere to go. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like number 56 in on the tackle, Damian McDonald.
Maybe lost a yard here. We'll see where they. I guess they end up putting it right back to the line of scrimmage. Not much going there for Jacob Spady. Brings up a 3rd down and 6. See what SNU does here. 3rd down, been the Achilles heel. Like we said earlier in the pregame, 32% into this ball game. Looks like the Devin Brady's going to come in, replacing Jacoby Hicks.
Brady already with a nice catch earlier in this game. So 7 seconds on the play clock. 3rd down and 6. Carlson comes in motion to the right side. Spady back to pass. With the blitz and a great catch there by Roloffs. He's going to get around midfield, and it's going to be a 1st down for Southern Nazarene. That's a great job by Spady, staying in the pocket with the blitz in his face.
Nice route there by Roloffs as well. Ball was a little bit high, but Roloffs came down with it. Roloffs, one of the receivers SNU really needs to get involved, averaging just over 15 yards a catch entering the ball game. Now he's on the far side.
Roloff, a 6'5 sophomore out of University Place, Washington. They get a quick hitch out to Walker on the quick bubble screen, and he gets about 7 yards into Ouachita Baptist territory, where it'll be second and manageable.
Mix and match some different looks there. Roloffs with the big first down. Now back out a little shot there to Zach Walker. By the way, Zach Walker, Nate Walker, not related. Just FYI. We're going to say Walker.
So you know.
We'll just make sure and say Zach or Nate, because both of them will see action in the game.
And they happen to be 2 and 3, of course.
Right, of course they do.
Shotgun formation here on 2nd and 3. As Zach Walker comes in motion, they're going to throw a quick pass, and it's going to be caught by Carlson. I think Zach Walker took off up the field just a little too quickly, though, so I think this is going to be coming back.
I think it will be, too.
And we'll see what the call is. You can see Zach Walker came in motion, and he turned up the field, and I think he started turning just before the snap.
So maybe the first penalty on SNU today. I don't remember one before this.
I believe you are correct. And it'll be a legal motion. And so that's going to send SNU back 5 yards, negating the big pass play to Carlson.
Had little spurts here in the ball games here at home where SNU's kind of shot themselves in the foot. You'd hope that this is not the beginning of one of those here, because a good drive going here by the SNU offense with about just under 6 minutes left to play here in the first half.
2nd and 8 here for SNU. If anything, as we said, we kind of said at the beginning of the drive, running a little bit of clock down as we get down to 5:45 now, and see if they can keep it going. 3 receivers to the right. Zach Walker comes in motion. Back to pass. They're going to go deep for roll-offs, and there's some contact made, and a flag comes in. We'll see which side it goes on, because roll-offs kind of wrapped up the DB as well. I don't know which side this will go against, actually, but it could be against it. It looks like, based on the reaction, it could be the defense, but we'll see here.
If it's on the defense, Reed Roloffs did a great job.
Yes, he did.
He really might have initiated the contact. But
I thought that as well. And it is against the defense, I tell you. And you can see the Ouachita Baptist sideline is not happy, because it did look like Roloffs kind of initiated that contact. It looked like he wrapped the DB up, and then both fell down.
Reed Roloffs would like to thank the academy for that pass interference. But it definitely you'll take it right there, and you put your first down and 10 here from the 34. SNU on the move here.
So SNU getting deeper into Ouachita Baptist territory, gets a 1st and 10. A nice little drive going again here in the second quarter. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the right side of Spady. Zach Walker again in motion. They're going to hand it off to Ramos. He has a little bit of a hole, and he gets up to around the 31-yard line, about a 3-yard gain. And so it'll be 2nd and 7.
5'8", 200-pound junior from Arlington, Texas, and we'd like to see him kind of get more involved if possible. You guys have a lot of guys, a lot of skills folks there, a lot of receivers that run in those sweeps. So sometimes he gets lost there.
So 2nd and 7. Bunch formation to the left side of Spady. 1 receiver to the right, which is roll-offs. And I'll move it to a shotgun formation. And it's going to be a quick bubble screen out to Carlson, and he loses a yard, I believe, on that play. Not a lot happening. And a host of Ouachita Baptist defenders. I think Keandre Evans was the first to get in there. We called his name a few times defensively.
They weren't fooled by that one right there. Brings up another 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. So SNU needs to try to get the first down here and get the 6, but if not, you want to get down a little closer. Unfortunately, the wind seemed like it's not quite as much, but you're probably not going to try and kick a field goal here.
So 3rd and 7. Pistol formation, 2 receivers to each side of Spady. They look to the sideline. Play clock's under 10. Now it switches to the shotgun formation. Walker in motion. It'll be, they look like a jet sweep, but Spady kept it and nowhere to go. As it looks like big number 90, John Rochelle, in on the tackle.
Dalen Conway as well, redshirt freshman from Arkansas. He made the first contact and really kept Spady from going anywhere. So 4th and 7, and really kind of in no man's land. You really have to go for it here with this wind blowing in your face.
And they're actually going to credit him with a loss of a yard on the play, so it's going to make it 4th and 8. Here for the Crimson Storm. Carlson's in motion. Spady back to pass. He'll roll. He looks. And what a catch by Roloffs. And then he fumbles the ball and gets it right. Yeah. It bounced right back into his hands. A little bit of luck there, but it's a first down. The second fourth down conversion on the day. Well, actually, the other one was on a penalty, but still a fourth down conversion for SNU.
Roll-offs. We talked about getting involved right there.
What a catch.
What a catch, and then what a second catch, I guess you'd
Yeah.
say. You get 2 completions for that? I don't know how that works. But roll-offs with a great catch right there. Great throw by Spady. And then a little bit of luck, but you'll take that sometimes. It'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 18.
Clock is down to 3 minutes now here in the first half. A great drive here for SNU. They need points, though. Bunch formation to the right of Spady. He's back to pass. Looking, he rolls, looking, throws down the field. Caught. No, dropped by Zach Walker. Had it in his hands, but it was broken up. It looked like number 5, Zach Miller, was able to jar it loose.
Elijah Jones also in there as well, but just unable to make the catch, Zach Walker. And, brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Going back to that roll-off sketch, I mean, that was unbelievable. The ball was – first he makes a great catch, and the ball's jarred free. And,
right.
I mean, there's 4 Ouachita Baptist defenders there, and it bounces right back into his hands. As we said, a little luck in the game as Nate Walker came in motion, and he heads up the field. He's going towards the corner of the end zone, and Spady will overthrow it on the play.
Dangerous throw there. It almost
Evans on the coverage.
And Evans almost had a better shot of catching that one. And SNU kind of lucky that it's just a incomplete pass from 3rd down.
So SNU taking a couple chances here inside the red zone, but now they're facing a 3rd and 10. 2:42 to play in the first half. 7-7 is your score between Ouachita Baptist and Southern Nazarene.
I wonder if Spady might have put a little bit more on that, knowing he was going into the wind, and put a little too much on it.
Spady now back to pass, looking. He's going to take off to the right side, and he fumbles the ball, but I believe it's going to be a face mask as there is a flag down. I think looked like number 92, Ernest Reed, when he went to pull him down, grabbed his face mask at first.
Ramos got the ball back anyway.
And he did. It was looked like about a 10-yard loss, but I think it's not going to matter because we're going to get a face mask call and a first down for SNU.
There are 3 flags within 5 yards of each other there, so some folks saw it. See what the call is. SNU able to take advantage here of the penalties.
Absolutely.
We've had a couple penalties that have kept drives going.
You got to love Will House down there, the offensive lineman for SNU. He's been getting the crowd into it. He's known every call beforehand, who it was on, where it's going, and the left guard for the Crimson Storm's very fired up now. As
preseason All-American, so.
Exactly. It's going to be a 1st and goal, or they –
first and goal.
First and goal. I was going to say, making sure what they're doing with the change. 1st and goal
Not sure
for
they know what they're doing
SNU.
either.
2:30 and counting here in the first half. Spady looking on a quarterback run, and not a lot to go. Looks like number 32, Elijah Jones on the tackle. Also number 56, Damian McDonald, also in on the stop.
SNU really, you'll take 3 if you can, but you're that close now. Still dealing with the wind, obviously, so nothing's really a gimme, but really want to get 6 here and going into the first half with a 7-point lead over Ouachita Baptist.
And SNU does get the ball to start the second half.
They do.
And you've got to love, this is a drive that started with a little over, almost 8 minutes, a little less than 8 minutes on the clock.
Well, you called for it, the long drive, right?
And it's exactly, I think, what this offense wanted. And it's a pistol formation for Spady. Walker in motion. It's a quarterback draw up the middle for Spady. 2-1, and he's going to be pushed. Will he get in? He is in! Touchdown! Southern Nazarene, Jacob Spady again from 9 yards out.
Jacob Spady and friends. I think there was a bunch of everybody just push.
If there was an assist in football, that was the time to give him.
That's when you should drop the assist right there. But nice run for Spady, and SNU with the lead now 13-7. And, just what the doctor ordered, a long drive with 6, helped out by some crazy plays, the double catch and the penalty. And SNU looking to go ahead by 7 here with Anguiano's kick.
Anguiano sets up for the PAT with 1:33 remaining in the first half. And snap good, hold good, kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:33 left to play in the first half. Your score, Southern Nazarene 14, Ouachita Baptist 7. You are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. We'll take a quick break and be right back. 1:33 remaining in the first half. SNU 14, Ouachita Baptist 7. Anguiano's going to get set to kick it off. And you're going to have Freeman and Evans back deep for Ouachita Baptist.
Great drive there by SNU. This kind of sets up well for the Crimson Storm, who will get the ball back to start the second half. 1:33 left before half, and a team that runs the ball pretty much most of the time, Ouachita Baptist. But we'll see right now if the Tigers decide to throw the ball a little bit with the short time frame before the intermission.
Anguiano set to kick. And it's going to be a short kickoff here, but Evans is going to take it at the 23, and he will head to the outside. He's got some room, and Roloffs with a great tackle at the 29-yard line. Oh, that was close to a big return.
That was going to be trouble if Roloffs doesn't make that tackle, but another great open field tackle. Reed Roloffs, who had the circus catch and catch again with the big tackle. And I'm telling you what, that was one thing you do not want, was a big return to give Ouachita Baptist a short field here with 1:27 left.
You were kind of holding your breath a little bit as he went to the outside.
Right.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Ouachita Baptist. Warford's going to be in shotgun formation. He's back to pass. He's going to hit Harris on a short route. And he's going to go out of bounds. About an 8-yard gain for Harris, and that'll bring up 2nd and short.
It's like number 45 for SNU. Zach Lloyd tangled up with some Ouachita Baptist guys there in the backfield.
And by the way, that last drive, 12 plays, 69 yards, 6:54 off the clock.
Just like James ordered.
Warford going deep. He's got a man, and it will be dropped. Caught. Never mind. I thought the ball was coming free, but just hanging on to it was Allie Freeman, and a big gain into SNU territory, going out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Miles Roll on the pressure on the quarterback, just didn't get there in time, and a big gain, and SNU needs to get a stop here.
And Warford's going to go back to shotgun formation. They're moving fast here. Warford, he's going to scramble to his right side, looking now. He cuts up the middle, and he's going to be hit and dropped after about a 1-yard gain. Clock is going to keep running.
Miles Roll also on that tackle with a few other folks. 5'11", 225 junior from Cypress, Texas. Brings up a 2nd down and 9.
And back to shotgun formation. 2 receivers to each side for Warford. He's back to pass, looking, and a drop there that time. That one was a drop.
It was. And Jekyll Davis, I'm not sure if he might have fallen down or something happened, but the receiver got.
That's what I saw too.
Yeah, and so SNU very lucky he drops it. 3rd and 9. We'll take it.
Lamar Haynes was the intended receiver and just couldn't hang on to it. And if he caught it, he would have probably gotten a 1st down in that situation. He had
maybe
some
more
work. As Warford's going to work from shotgun formation again. 2 receivers to each side. He's back to pass. He's going for Freeman in the end zone. He's got a step. Oh, great play by number 9, Tyreek Harris, to break it up. Just got in there in the last second.
That number 9, Derek Carmouche.
Excuse me, Carmouche, yes.
Carmouche, and great job right there. Great coverage and able to break it up there. That's Carmouche's 5th breakup of the season, so great job for the senior from Houston, and brings up 4th and 9, and a field goal attempt upcoming for the Tigers.
Cole Antley coming on. He's 6 for 9 on the season along of 37 yards. This one's going to be 42 to get his season long. It's up, and it is good. A 42-yard field goal from Colt Antley. With 39 seconds left, makes it a 14-10 game. A huge answer there by Ouachita Baptist just before the half.
But huge for SNU, not giving up the 6. You're still going up here. I mean, you've got 39 seconds left here going into the wind. I don't know how much you can do. Maybe you get a decent, kickoff return, that type of thing. But we'll just I think the kickoff return will kind of dictate what Southern Nazarene does here with a short amount of time left before half. But obviously going into the wind changes things a little bit. But SNU with the big stop, Carmouche with the big pass break up there in the end zone. I think that, as most receivers do, they're looking for flags, but no flags. And SNU really, I think it does a lot for you. Come in and go into halftime here at home ahead.
Right.
And barring anything crazy happening, the Crimson Storm are in a good position to go into the locker room ahead by at least 4.
And we talked about coming in the slow starts SNU has had this season in the first half, and from a point standpoint and just in the way they played. And I think this is exactly what they want, to go in leading at home and possibly come out in the second half with the ball. We'll see what happens here, though, in the last 39 seconds. Antley's going to set up to kick, and we have Davis and Gillis back deep for SNU. As Antley will step forward and send it off. And it's going to go way towards the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The band had a better chance of returning that than I think
did.
Jekyll Davis.
So 1st and 10, let's see what SNU does here. The Tigers have 2 timeouts if they want to use them, but I would imagine with SNU receiving the ball to start the second half, it's going to be a very conservative approach. Maybe a couple handoffs. If they break free, then maybe we'll see what happens, but I don't think you're going to see much of anything here in the final 39 seconds.
And you really want to. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to have any turnovers. And, obviously here inside your own territory at the 25, you don't want to give the Tigers a short field a chance to take the lead. So
shotgun formation here for Spady. He's got Nate Walker in the backfield with him. Actually going to hand it off to Nate Walker, using speed to get to the outside, and there's a flag down. It looks like in the area of holding. As Harris picked up about 3
this
yards.
will probably be coming
play.
back, I think.
I believe it will be. Second penalty of the day on SNU. And it will be a holding call. So we'll remain first down here.
Now you're going to be really conservative because now you're at the 15-yard line.
I mean, you can actually the clock is running. About a 6-second.
This would be the last.
This will be the last play.
The last
no doubt.
snap, unless something.
Ouachita
weird
Baptist
happens.
is not taking any timeouts, so they might as well just take a knee here and get to the break.
Not sure they're really going to snap it. They may just take the penalty. Or SNU will call timeout.
And they will. We'll get a quick timeout in. We'll stay here as we got 6 seconds remaining. And we'll have the halftime show.
Sound of the Storm coming up.
Yep.
We'll be performing as they do at halftime. And later on, we'll kind of break down, give you some of the stats and everything. We would read some scores around the GAC, but no one else is playing. So we won't be doing that.
Yep. No. We have some. We got some soccer scores. We got some different sports, but no other football games.
No
going
football
on
games, rather.
on
Yes,
Thursday,
yes,
unless
yes.
you want to cover.
John Hill wants us to cover.
Well, here's our
football.
update: Southern Nazarene and Ouachita Baptist playing in women's soccer.
Just a little bit, couple miles to our east.
In the 73rd minute, your score: SNU 2, Ouachita 1.
Crimson Storm ahead in that ball game. There's 2 games tonight, right? That both men and women are playing.
Exactly. Men will kick off afterwards. So women looking for a win over the Tigers. So maybe looking for the Tiger sweep here today, possibly.
Right. So that was your GAC football.
The football update.
Now back to American football.
Spady's just going to take a knee here, and we're going to go to halftime. And I think the clock has stopped. Did we get a timeout?
Not sure.
We did not.
No.
Halftime. And so we had a little bit of a delay there for a second, but we have made it to halftime. Some momentum here for the Crimson Storm as they lead Ouachita Baptist by the score of 14-10 here at SNU Football Stadium. We will take a quick break, but we'll be right back with some halftime entertainment and some halftime stats. You're watching SNU Football here on SNUathletics.com.
14-10 Southern Nazarene over Ouachita Baptist. We're at halftime here in Bethany at SNU Football Stadium. And for your halftime enjoyment, the Sound of the Storm getting ready to perform.
Ladies and gentlemen, Southern Nazarene University is proud to bring you the 2017 season halftime performance by your very own, the pride of SNU, the Sound of the Storm marching band. Today, the band presents two selections celebrating the music of American jazz composer and Grammy Award winner Chuck Mangione. Enjoy the show as the band performs two musical pieces entitled Children of Sanchez, followed by Land of Make-Believe. Soloists include Jordan Macias and alto saxophone and Hannah Amos on trumpet. The band is under the direction of drum majors Benji Hughes from Wichita Falls, Texas, and Emma Rhodes from Deer Creek, Oklahoma. The drum majors is Jordan Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, this season the band is celebrating excellence in musicianship and marching. This game's marcher of the week recognition goes to Nathan Cummings from Gastonia, North Carolina, and Rebecca Sharp from Yukon, Oklahoma. At this time, we invite you to stand for the playing of the SMU fight song. The sound of the song is under the direction of Director of Bands, Professor Danny Abreu.
SNU Sound of the Storm. Nathan Cummings being the band member recognized this week after a great performance by the Sound of the Storm here at halftime of SNU and Ouachita Baptist. It's 14-10, Crimson Storm over the Tigers of Ouachita Baptist. Joel Reagan along with James Hill, John Hale alongside as well, and a great first half for Southern Nazarene, and we'll talk about that here in a second, or maybe now. I don't know. I'm playing director, I think. James, a great first half for SNU, and they have the 4-point lead, and they will get the football coming up here to start the second half. And let's go through some of the stats here. First for Ouachita Baptist, 10 points on the board, 8 first downs, 19 carries, 95 yards on the ground, 112 yards passing. They're 10 of 13 on the day. Total offense on 32 plays, 207 yards. 1 kickoff return for 5 yards. 5 penalties, 54 yards. And the penalties really helped SNU. They all came in big spots for the Crimson Storm. 14 minutes, 14:44 in possession. 5 of 8 from third down. 0 of 2, 2 big fourth down stops for SNU. And then 1 score in the red zone for Ouachita Baptist. For SNU, kind of go through the team stats there for the Crimson Storm.
SNU with 14 points on the board, the lead at halftime. 10 first downs, 15 rushes for 52 yards, 66 yards passing on 8 of 11 from Jacob Spady. 118 yards total on 26 plays. Only 1 punt on the day, went only 24 yards. 2 penalties for 15 yards. 1 came at the very end of the half, so not really being hurt at all by penalties. 15 minutes and 16 seconds in the time of possession. 2 of 5 on third downs, and then they're 1 for 1 on fourth down. You can almost say 2 for 2. They had a 4th and 1 early in one of their first scoring drives that they were able to draw Ouachita Baptist off sides and convert that 4th down. Also 1 for 1 in red zone scoring chances, another thing we had brought up in the pregame show as far as finishing drives. And so that's what SNU is looking at here in the first half.
Ouachita Baptist led by Chris Oliver, 8 carries, 39 by the 38 yards, his long of 19, 4.8 is average. Austin Wofford, 4 carries, 35 yards, 26 his long, averaging 8.8 a carry. Drew Harris, 5 carries, 19 yards, 1 touchdown. He has 1 touchdown for the Tigers, long of 6, 3.8. Shunsey Thomas, 2 carries, 3 yards, long of 2, 1.5. So really, it's been a lot of Chris Oliver on the running game for the Tigers. Wofford, 9 of 12, 114 yards, long of 38. Harris did throw 1 pass. It was complete for -2. Ali Freeman, 4 catches, 43 yards, long of 38. Drew Harris, 4 catches for 30 yards, long of 13. Ladarius McElroy, 1 catch for 37 yards. Zach Kelly, 1 catch for 2 yards. Tackles, John Racall, 3 tackles total. Keandre Evans with 3 as well. Tevin Jones with 3, and Tyreek Harris with 2. For Southern Nazarene, Jacob Spady kind of leads the thing.
6 carries so far for 27 yards, a pair of touchdowns. He had the long 21-yard score early in the game. Actually, Ouachita Baptist has done a pretty good job of bottling him up, minus that 1 long run, but he still has been able to find the end zone twice. Reese Carlson, a pair of carries for 14 yards, a long of 13. Daniel Ramos III, 2 carries for 7 yards, and Zach Walker, 3 carries for 5 yards. Spady, 8 for 11 on the day, passing 66 yards. He's thrown some nice balls here this afternoon, some short ones, but he's also done a pretty good job in the intermediate passing game. Reed Roloffs, 4 catches for 35 yards. I don't think it included the catch, the double catch, as we like to call it.
2 completions?
I don't believe so. Long of 14. Zach Walker, 2 catches for 20 yards. Devin Brady, 1 for 11. And then Reese Carlson has a catch on the day, but no yards to show for it. For tackles, Dorian Harris leads the way with 5. Josh Jordan also with 5. Tristan Slinker with 4. And Miles Roll with 4. Quick recap of the scoring plays. SNU got on the board first with 5:15 remaining in the first quarter. 9-play, 72-yard drive that took up 5:16 off the clock. Jacob Spady, 21-yard run. Ouachita Baptist answered with 27 seconds left in the first quarter. Drew Harris ran it in from 4 yards out. 10-play, 75-yard drive that ate up 4:48 of the clock to even the score at 7. In the second quarter, with 1:33 on the clock, Jacob Spady ran it in from 9 yards out to cap a 12-play, 69-yard drive that ate up 6 minutes and 54 seconds. It's a great drive by SNU. But Ouachita Baptist answered quickly with 40 seconds on the clock. Cole Antley, a 42-yard field goal, his season-long capped a 6-play, 46-yard drive in only 47 seconds.
With those 66 passing yards for Jacob Spady, he has now gone over 2,000 yards passing, and he's also the only player in school history to rush for at least 1,000 yards and pass for 2,000. He only needed 21 passing yards to set that record and become that one person. So congratulations to Jacob Spady on achieving that. We mentioned it too, really. I think one of the big things in this first half that really helped SNU, Reed Roloffs, his emergence, the catches were all really, really big catches. One of them was a little crazy with the ball flying back up in the air. But SNU really, if you could have a blueprint for a drive here, an opening drive, I think you would say the last SNU scoring drive in the first half is really what you want a lot more of here in the second half.
Well, I think one thing Southern Nazarene has done a good job of so far this afternoon on both of their long scoring drives is getting themselves in manageable situations when you're facing third downs. And they've had a couple lucky situations where you had a face mask call that helped them out.
Right.
And you've had I got it. Spady, the few times he's had to throw down the field, the intermediate passing game has been solid for Spady. As we mentioned, Roloffs has been one of the main targets in that. But putting themselves in third and manageable, being able to run some clock down, keep this Ouachita Baptist team ran for over 300 yards as a team a season ago, and right now they're sitting at only 95 yards. And I'll say one stat I was a little surprised time of possession has been as even as it's been.
Right.
It's kind of felt like Southern Nazarene has controlled the clock. They definitely did in the second quarter, I would say. But I could agree completely. I think SNU did a good job getting to the outside, getting their athletes in some space to make some plays, and then when they needed to throw the ball, both Spady and Roloffs have come through in key situations.
You mentioned the time of possession. After the first quarter, it was 9:17 for Ouachita Baptist, 5:43 for SNU, and SNU flipped it to 14 and 15. So you're right. Second quarter was dominate time possession-wise. And really, though, I was surprised. I talked about it before they go out and get the field goal. But Ouachita, I thought, okay, this is a team that's going to run the ball a lot. They will not be able to score quickly. They were able to get down into SNU's territory on their last score there in the second quarter and get the field goal after the stop. But so, you think maybe, okay, they're not going to be quick strike, but they've shown that they can score quickly, and so SNU's going to have to be able to not let them get down
Well,
there in the other side.
I think what it looks like, at least based on what I'm seeing on the field, it looks like SNU, we've talked about all day, Ouachita Baptist has been saying, we're going to run the ball, stop it. And SNU, I think, is responding with, we're going to put guys in the box to stop the run, throw it. And that'll be interesting how that plays out if Ouachita Baptist maybe tries to open it up. They were 10 of 13, 112 yards passing in the first half.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see, especially being down. Will they open up the passing game a little bit more? Because it looks like there's been more of a man coverage for SNU. And with all that said, it's time for the second half. And we're going to have Ouachita Baptist kicking off from left to right. Cole Antley setting it up as a Sweet Caroline plays throughout the stadium. The wind is going to be at the back of SNU this half. And back deep for the Crimson Storm will be Jekyll Davis and Derek Gillis. We are underway here in the third quarter. Taking it at about the 11-yard line will be Davis. He heads down the right side. Oh, and a huge hit. It looked like, I believe that's 49.
John Sharp.
What a hit there. Davis popped right back up, but man, that was a big hit.
But he didn't pop up. He looks like he can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a way to start the second half and maybe get this defense fired up a little bit.
The bell is ringing somewhere, I get to say, after that hit. But
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Southern Nazarene at the 25-yard line. So let's see how this second half plays out. Fresh off that huge drive to take the lead before half, Spady's going to come out in a shotgun formation. And check that, it'll be a pistol formation. Ramos behind him. And Spady takes the snap, and we're going to start things off with a false start. Not the start you want.
No, and SNU really was relatively penalty-free there in that first half.
And so 5 yards back go the Crimson Storm. They're going to face 1st and 15, and that's a great point. They had 2 penalties. One of them was at the very end of the half that you kind of toss out because it really didn't affect anything.
And I think it's what kind of penalties you have. You just don't want to have penalties like this where a false start, or you had one earlier. We had an illegal formation because the guy
which was a big game.
Was a big deal. So those kind of penalties you don't want to see as a coach. I think Andy Lambert would not want to see those. If you see aggressive penalties, those things will happen sometimes.
Pistol formation again. Ramos is going to take the first carry towards the right side, and he gets stood up. Maybe got a yard on the play, but that's about it. Good penetration there by the Ouachita Baptist defensive line.
And it kind of changes what you call. Now you're at 2nd and 15 from the 20. You don't have the same kind of playbook as you might have without. It's only a 5-yard penalty, so you don't want to overstate that. But we'll see here. 2nd and 14 from the 21.
I think Chris Legger, the defensive tackle, was the first one to get a hold of Ramos there. And then a host of Tigers were able to bring him down. And so now shotgun formation for Spady. I think Spady's thrown the ball pretty well so far. Let's see if he opens it up here. It's going to be a little bubble screen that's going nowhere as he was looking for Harris. They had that scouted out right from the start, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
I think that was good for SNU. He did not catch it because he was not going to go anywhere. That's number 21. That's Ari Parker, a senior from San Diego. He was right on that pass.
And so it'll bring up 3rd and 14 here for the Crimson Storm. Now let's see what Coach Lambert dials up here on the 3rd and long. It'll be interesting. Sometimes you want to be careful in these situations, especially with the lead. Spady's going to go back to pass. He's going to throw it up for Roloffs. It's going to be short, and it will be broken up by Evans. Looks like Roloffs had to play a little bit of defensive back there.
Yeah, he really did. He really had to play more defensive back to avoid the interception because ball was not thrown really well for Spady, not for Roloffs, and so a punt upcoming.
Underthrown there as Anguiano's going to go back to punt. Now he's got the wind at his back. Wasn't a great punt his first time, but he was punting into the wind.
Yes, yeah.
And so this time he will have Ali Freeman back deep. Got to be careful. The one thing you don't want to do with the wind at your back is outkick your coverage, especially with somebody dangerous like an Ali Freeman, who has shown he is quite a quick person. That is a much better punt. Sends Freeman back to about the 34-yard line. He heads to his left side, and good coverage there by the SNU punt team as they drop him at the 39-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
I think James Love made the first contact there, and good play by SNU.
And we will take a timeout. It is 13:53 remaining here in the third quarter. You're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com.
Got an update from SNU soccer. Women's soccer team beat Ouachita Baptist 2-1. So big win for the Crimson Storm. Just a mile or two to our east in the men's contest coming up as well. Here, 14-10, Southern Nazarene up against Ouachita Baptist, 13:53, and the Tigers have the football.
1st and 10 here for the Tigers at their own 39-yard line. Wofford's going to come out with Oliver in the backfield, shotgun formation. Wofford's going to start out back to pass. Oh, and it's going to be a long pass. That's going to be intercepted. Not quite. It was interesting.
Josh Jordan.
They did the hitch and go here on the left side with Ladarius McElroy. Look, he had a step, but a great job by the safety Josh Jordan being right there.
Josh Jordan watching the quarterback's eyes and had a chance for the pick, but a great job there. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Just in and out of your hands, and
story of my life.
It's going to be 2nd and 10.
That's why I was a lineman.
2nd and 10 here for Ouachita Baptist. Another shotgun formation, 2 tight ends, and it's going to be a pass over to Freeman. Freeman going to the left side, and he is going nowhere. He maybe got a yard. As a great job there by the SNU defensive backs to force him out.
Once again, SNU has done a really, really good job with those short passes, those kind of screen passes and such. And when Ouachita Baptist has run outside the tackle, they've done a really good job right there. But we'll see if the Tigers decide to go back inside again.
Like Anthony Stevens and Dorian Harris were both in on the tackle on that last play. 3rd and 8, shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left of Warford. He is back to pass, looking. He's going to throw it up, and it's going to be caught by Ladarius McElroy. They're in SNU territory, as it looked like it looks like maybe Harris wanted a little bit of a push off there, but not a lot you can do with that.
He did get a little separation there with Harris, and McElroy gets the big catch, 1st down, and now at the 42 for Ouachita Baptist.
You can't teach 6'6". When you're 6'6" and you can just throw it up, it definitely helps.
That's right.
Pistol formation, again, 2 tight ends in the game, 2 receivers to the left of Warford. Tight end comes in motion, handoff to Oliver. He goes to the right side, breaks a tackle. He's got a little room, but he's finally forced out of bounds. Picks up around 5 yards on the play.
Dorian Harris came in there and made the first contact, unable to bring the man down. And so gain of about 5 or so for Ouachita Baptist. But the Crimson Storm had a man hit him behind the line of scrimmage, just unable to bring him down.
2nd and 6 from the SNU 38-yard line. Wofford again in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the left. And they will hand it off again to Oliver. Oliver cuts back up the middle where he meets a host of Crimson Storm defenders. And that's going to bring up 3rd down.
This is right. This is a really good drive to see how the SNU defense can handle this. Because if they can handle the inside run, this is going to be some good things for the Crimson Storm. And it'll make Ouachita Baptist change things a little bit here. 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 here for the Tigers. 2 receivers to each side. Oliver in the backfield with Wofford. Shotgun formation. Crowd on their feet. Wofford's going to be back to pass. He looks to his right, fires, and it is dropped. It was a rare drop there.
It dropped and then it bounced into I believe it was Anthony Stevens' hands. So, man, thought for a second maybe that might be an interception.
Wofford's pass was behind Harris there. I don't think you see Harris drop too many balls, but that was definitely behind the playmaker here for the Tigers. Brings up 4th and 5. They're going to try again here on 4th. They're 0 for 2 on the day, and they may give it another shot here. And they are. 4th down and 5. 2 receivers to each side for Warford. Oliver in the backfield. Can they convert this 4th down? Warford back to pass. Looking. Incomplete. He threw it high and Harris couldn't bring it in. 0 for 3 now on 4th down.
Jekyll Davis on the coverage right there. That ball was thrown high. Not really a chance for a completion, but a big stop there for SNU, and really they have better field position than they did before.
We're going to take a quick break. 11:32 remaining in the 3rd quarter. SNU leads 14-10 over Ouachita Baptist. A quick break nonetheless, and we are back. 11:32 here in the third quarter, 14-10 SNU. As Jacob Spade's going to start off, bunch formation to his left in the pistol set as they look to the sideline. And again, good field position has been the key here for SNU today. Both of their drives started with good field position.
And they didn't have it in the first field position of this half.
And this time they do, starting at their own 37. Walker's going to come in motion. They're going to hand it to him on a speed sweep. He looks to cuts back up the middle and picks up 3 or 4 yards where it'll be second down.
Nice job by Walker cutting up. I've seen a couple times where he doesn't cut up and just try to go down the sideline, but he does cut up and get some positive yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and down and 7 for Southern Nazarene. 2nd and 7. Spady will get back in the shotgun formation. They're at their own 40-yard line. It's kind of a full house pistol set. They got 2 backs to the and then one behind Spady. Watch roll-offs here on the near side.
Absolutely. They could be looking for this one-on-one over here.
Working on Keandre Evans.
And they're going to give it to Carlson instead. And he hits the outside. He's got a first down and way more. He gets out to around midfield where it'll be a first down. A nice run there by Reese Carlson.
Carlson, the 6'4", 210 junior from Gig Harbor, Washington.
Wow. Long way.
It's a long way.
As Zach Miller came away with the tackle there for Ouachita Baptist. At his 1st and 10, they move in to Ouachita territory. Spady again, shotgun formation, another bunch set to the left. Ramos in the backfield. And in motion comes Walker, and almost dropped the ball, but coming up with it was Spady. A little bit of a bobble there, but he picks up around 7 before he is dropped by Elijah Jones.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time. That was the most, tough one, but where those handoffs have kind of almost gone awry for SNU on those little speed sweeps.
And they'll call it a 6-yard game where it'll be 2nd and 4 here for SNU. We're in the third quarter. Under 10 minutes to play, 14-10 your score. SNU leading Ouachita Baptist. Again, this kind of full house pistol set. As they'll give it to Walker this time. He comes to the outside. Looks like he got a face mask there. Flag comes out. He's forced out of bounds around the 39-yard line. We're going to get another face mask here, and it's going to be a first down for SNU.
Flag was thrown really late, but I think you're right. So it's going to help SNU. Well, wait a minute. This may be going against SNU. This may be
Spady was jumping up and down.
Yeah. So Spady is demonstrably saying he does not agree with the call, or it should be called differently. But this may end up being something else, like a hold or something. But or maybe are they picking it up? Are they picking it up?
We will see.
Chop block.
Chop block. Well, it happened right in front of us here. They definitely missed the face mask call as well, because he did, as Walker was coming to the outside, they got a hold of it.
But it makes sense as well, because that flag was thrown too late.
Yeah,
if the guy is going to call the face mask, because the plate almost passed the linesman by the time that.
So Southern Nazarene's going to go all the way back to their own territory, back to the 42. And so that's going to bring up 2nd and 19 now. So a long way to go. Shotgun formation for Spady, 3 receivers to his right. We'll see what happens. That can definitely be a drive killer, though, on the chop block, which is a 15-yard penalty as opposed to a 5 or 10-yard penalty. As Ramos is going to switch sides in shotgun formation. Play clock down to 2-1, and a timeout will be taken by Southern Nazarene. Took a little too long there, and we're gonna take a break here. And so your score 14-10, SNU. 9:10 remaining in the third quarter. You're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. Back here at SNU Football Stadium, 14-10. SNU leads Ouachita Baptist, and we were just talking about, a relatively clean first half for SNU in their drives. And so far in the second half, first drive you had a false start to start things off. Second drive you have the chop block that, that hurts.
And a timeout that's be called because you can't get the play off after a stoppage of play with the penalty. Those timeouts, you might need to have that later on in the game.
As Carlson's going to come in motion, 3 receivers to the right now. Spady's going to go back to pass. He's going to look, and it's tipped at the line and almost intercepted. Should have been an interception.
John
Number
Rashall.
25, yeah. Almost came away with it. Number 25, Luke Holt, couldn't bring it in. And
I think that was Big John Rashall, who knocked it down, 6'3", 225 from Channelview, Texas.
And we're being told that as Holt was coming to catch it, his own man actually knocked it out. So playing defense on each other, as it will be 3rd down and long here for SNU, looking at 19 yards to go here for a first down at their own 42-yard line. They need to get to the Ouachita Baptist 39-yard line. And play clock running down to 5 now. Man in motion. And Spady back to pass. He's going to look deep. He's looking for roll-offs. He's going to overthrow everybody, and that's going to be 4th down. So that chop block proves to be very costly as it kills this drive off.
It really does, and we'll see here SNU if they can. They obviously will have the win, so should get a decent punt out of Anguiano here, and put themselves in a good position to play defense here against the Tigers.
Anguiano's going to get set for his 3rd punt of the day. And back deep will be Allie Freeman for Ouachita Baptist. Anguiano takes it and sends it. Another solid punt. Freeman's going to call for a fair catch. And it'll be right at the 20-yard line. They will probably mark him at the 20. And with 8:51 remaining, that is where Ouachita Baptist will take over 1st and 10.
A lot of hang time on that punt, too. Kind of allowed his coverage to get there. And, of course, seeing the coverage there, the fair catch. So that puts SNU in a good position here to play defense. And, obviously a good defensive stop there on 4th down. But you kind of want to be able to maybe see if you can flip the field a little bit and get a stop here inside of Ouachita Baptist territory. I think we might have a timeout.
And now I think we do have the officials timeout now, so we'll take a break. 8:51 remaining in the 3rd quarter. SNU 14, Ouachita Baptist 10. You're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com.
(14-10) Southern Nazarene over Ouachita Baptist. 8:51 left. Joel Reagan, James Hill. Next broadcast coming up on the 28th against Northwestern. A 4 o'clock kickoff right here at SNU Football Stadium. Crimson Storm on the road next week, next Saturday at Arkansas Monticello. That's a 3 p.m. kickoff.
Coming out of the break, it'll be 1st and 10. Ouachita Baptist at their own 20-yard line. Austin Warford is going to start things off in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his left. Shunsey Thomas checks back into the game as the running back, and he's going to take the handoff, and he is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage as it looks like number 56, Colton Knox on the stop.
6'1", 200 senior from Wowoka, Oklahoma, and he had 9 tackles heading into the ball game, and good stop after a short 1-yard gain.
Well, he did a great job as the lineman pulled. He just came in right behind him and was able to pull down Thomas right around the line of scrimmage. Thomas pushed forward to get 2 yards to make it 2nd and 8. And so another shotgun formation here for Wofford. 2 receivers to each side. Thomas remains in the game in the backfield. Wofford. He's back to pass. He's looking. They're going to get a drag route here to Freeman. Freeman makes his way out of bounds. He's going to be just short of the 1st down. And it'll be Angel Hernandez forcing him out, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
Nice little drag route there. Makes it a short and really manageable 3rd down for Ouachita Baptist. And Freeman nobody really going in with him on that drag route, so he got easy little pitch and catch there for the gain.
Ouachita Baptist has had a problem on 4th down,
Yeah.
but on 3rd down, they've been pretty good today, 6 of 10 on the evening. And it's going to be Freeman in motion. He's going to take the handoff, and he's going to rush for the 1st down before being forced out around the 35-yard line. It looked like for a second Wofford was going to hold on to it, but he let go at the last second.
You really have to have eyes. Josh Jordan gets locked up in his man, and he really kind of almost runs by the play, and he gets locked up into the blocker. So you've got to go find the football and make a play there. I think he might have had a chance to get a hand in there, maybe make some contact. Instead, it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 here for Ouachita Baptist at their own 35. Thomas in the backfield in the pistol set. 2 tight ends in the game. Thomas is going to get the call, and he rushes up the middle, and he picks up about 6 yards. A nice run there by Thomas. This has been their bread and butter formation.
It has.
Pistol, 2 tight ends, a receiver to each side.
And they'd kind of gone away with it a little bit, and now they're kind of bringing it back, and SNU going to have to really stay strong up front. Coming in, number 36, Stephen Price. Replacing number 45, that's Zach Lloyd.
And they're right back in this pistol set. This time 2 receivers to the left. Thomas remains in the backfield. Tight end in motion. And Thomas is going to take the snap. He's got a little bit of a hole. He's got a 1st down. And he's out to just a yard short of midfield, and another 1st down for Ouachita Baptist, trying to take control here in the running game.
They really are, and they've seen some success here running through the middle. They've really kind of struggled when they go outside of the tackles. And this is a tough drive for the SNU defense. They need to get a stop here. They're punting, and the special teams have put them in a good position, and they need to get a stop here.
Well, probably jinx it here, but a relatively no turnovers this game. Both teams have played a clean game.
I like what you're talking about now. So
Yeah.
jinx it now.
Wofford, as Freeman's going to come in motion, they're going to end up handing it off to Thomas as they fake the jet sweep. Thomas right up the middle. He's into SNU territory, and he's going to be dragged down around the 37-yard line. Looks like about a 15-yard gain for Shunsey Thomas.
Same song, 9th verse. It was up through the middle, really hardly touched for about 7-8 yards until he gets to the 2nd level. And SNU really struggling again against the run up the middle.
Creative play design there. They faked the jet sweep and then just handed it off right up the middle to Thomas, who had a nice hole here. And that's going to bring up 1st and 10 at the SNU 37. And we're going to get a false start. Well, we'll see who it is.
I think that's going to be a false start on Logan Morris.
I believe it will. And they're going to come up and talk to the officials. And you don't see that very often. And it's going to be against Ouachita Baptist.
Wofford was trying to make his case, but I don't think he gets to.
Usually the only time you see something like that is if they, every once in a while you'll say like, hey, the defense is talking or trying to draw us off. Right. You usually don't see it very often where they walk up and speak with the officials unless they see something that they may not be seeing.
Right.
Regardless, 5 yards back go the Tigers. And it's 1st and 15.
Usually they don't take your opinion. Now, you can kind of tell them here and there this is happening, but it goes against Ouachita Baptist.
Freeman's going to come in motion. They're going to fake the jet sweep again. They give it to Thomas. He breaks a few tackles, and he's dragged down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as a host of SNU defenders are in on the tackle.
Led by Anthony Stevens from Harker Heights, Texas. He was kind of the lead man on that, and we have an injured player on the field for Ouachita Baptist. So Thomas is slow to get up. Looks like he may be favoring his right leg. Yeah.
I tell you, when Thomas, you could see when he gets the carry, he looks like he's shot out of a rocket. He runs it really, really hard. In that case, though, he just had nowhere to go. He's going to slowly light jog off the field, so hopefully not anything too serious. But it is going to bring Chris Oliver back into the game, who has been the leading rusher throughout the day for Ouachita Baptist. As they're going to go back to a shotgun formation. They've remained in this 2 tight end set, and they got a receiver to each side, Ladarius McElroy and Drew Harris. We've called both of their names quite a few times tonight. As Wofford in this pistol set is going to go play action. He's looking towards McElroy. He has a lot of green to the left side. He picks it up and runs. Wofford with good speed. He's going to get right at that 1st down line. I think he may have gotten it.
I think so too. Great speed there, and just really great awareness to say, "Hey, I got a lot of green in front of me," and it looks like he's going to pick up the 1st down.
And he does.
A big 1st down for Ouachita Baptist. on the legs of Wofford.
He went back to pass and he was looking, I think, towards McElroy, and he almost saw immediately that, whoa, nobody's over here.
Nobody's over here,
I can pick this up myself. And so it's a first down and 10 for Ouachita Baptist at the SNU 27-yard line. We have 4:34 remaining here in the third quarter, as it'll be a pistol set here for Wofford. 2 receivers to the right. Oliver remains in the backfield, tight end in motion. And they're going to hand it off to Oliver. He's got some room before he is dragged down. And it looks like Miles Roll on the tackle. And late flag comes in. And this is usually an after-the-play type of situation.
And it's not usually a good thing for the defense, not normally. So we'll see what the call is. Not much there going for Oliver, but what we've seen a lot is even after contact, a lot of feet moving and able to really get something out of nothing there. But the penalty may be more.
So we'll get the call here. And it's going to be a late hit on the defense. And those, we talked about penalties at the beginning of this half, how good SNU had been with them, and it has been pretty much the opposite here in the second half. They have been killers for this SNU team.
That will probably make it a 1st and goal.
And I believe it'll probably be half the distance. They will be very close.
So maybe at the 11 or something like that. Or
they're going to be right outside of the 10-yard line. It's like they're going to mark them right at the 11. So it will be a 1st and 10 for Ouachita Baptist. And now comes the point here for the SNU defense. They've stepped up all day and have made some big stops, and now probably none bigger than this series.
Absolutely. You really want to hold them to a field goal try.
And so back to the pistol formation. It's the first time they've been out of the 2 tight end set, though. They have a tight end and 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Oliver in the backfield. Wofford's going to hand it off to Oliver. He makes a couple cuts, and he's trying to break free, but SNU's going to drag him down around the 9-yard line, only a 2-yard gain.
Zach Lloyd kind of leading the charge there, the junior from Bartlesville, and nice job there as Oliver was kind of trying to ride things and find the hole, and it's never appeared with the SNU defense.
I'm interested that, I guess they're going back to it now. I was going to say I'm interested they got out of the 2 tight end set so close to the goal line, but now they are back in it here as it's a shotgun formation. Freeman comes in motion. This time they're going to pitch it out to him, and he goes to the left side, but again, not much there for the SNU defense. We've talked about Ouachita Baptist just getting away from what they've been doing so well, and you're kind of seeing it now.
And that was an interesting pitch because he almost just catches it and kind of the same motion pitches it to the
Seems
back.
dangerous.
It does seem a little dangerous. I thought for a second it was a fumble or something like that.
They're technically passes in that case. So if he drops it, it's technically an incomplete pass.
Right,
So they are okay if it's not caught. So there's not a lot of danger unless you just overthrow them.
So here's a big 3rd down and 5 right here. As you mentioned, Ouachita Baptist has been great on 3rd down, not great on 4th down. Here comes a really big 3rd and 5.
So 3 receivers to the right side here, 1 to the left. I wonder if they're going to try to throw it up to McElroy here on the left side in the one-on-one. That's who they're looking towards. McElroy going up. Great play on defense.
That's Jekyll Davis.
What a play there Jekyll Davis, what is his size?
He's 5'7", 145.
Going against a 6'6" receiver.
Right, he gets up there and able to knock the ball out. That would have been 6 had it been caught, and now will force a field goal. The wind, not as much of a factor now as it has been going to the right.
Cole Antley converted from 42 yards earlier in the game. He's going to have this one from 24 yards, it looks like. And so he'll look to bring Ouachita Baptist a little bit closer here as he sets up. Good snap, good hold, kick is up. And the kick is good. And with 2:36 remaining, it will be a 14-13 game. But SNU still on top, a win for this defense.
Oh, definitely win for this defense. 14-13, 2:36 left to play here in the third quarter. This is SNUathletics.com. Some games coming up Saturday in the GAC. This is the only Thursday game in the GAC. Arkansas Monticello playing at Oklahoma Baptist at 1 in Shawnee. Henderson State traveling to Durant to play the 6-0 Southeastern Savage Storm at 2. Arkansas Tech at Southwestern in Weatherford at 2. And then Harding up in Alva against Northwestern Rangers at 2. All these rest of the games at 2. Southern Arkansas in Ada at East Central. The other games in the Great American Conference coming up on Saturday.
Antley's going to get set to kick off here for the Tigers. 14-13 your score with 2:36 remaining in the third quarter. SNU leading Ouachita Baptist. Davis and Gillis back deep, and Davis, who just had the great pass deflection, is going to take it at the 6-yard line. He's going to his left side, looking for a hole. Got a little bit of room. He's going to get out to around the 26-yard line before he is dragged down. It looks like Hayden Lassiter on the tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Crimson Storm.
And almost a late hit there on Lassiter. He was trying to kind of wrestle for the football there, but no, nothing called. A lot, good runs here by Jekyll Davis, but you having to do a lot of in traffic between the 10 and 20, so not much to be able to get a big return. So kind of at the 26, about where you'd get it if you had it, at a touchback. So
SNU offense had a good drive going their last time out, but a penalty kind of wiped it all out, as it'll be a shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the right of Spady. They're going to go out to Davis. He cuts back up the field. He was not down. He kind of slipped a little bit, but was able to keep himself up and move forward. He picks up about 7 yards in the process. It'll be 2nd and manageable.
I think it might be good that we don't have any kind of a replay on that, because it was pretty close. But 2nd and manageable for SNU. This is what you want. You want 2nd and manageable, 3rd and manageable. I think it really plays well for the Crimson Storm.
So Zach Walker with the nice catch as he kept himself up and picked up 7. 2nd and 3 here for SNU. 2 receivers to each side.
Do you take a shot here somewhere at 2nd down and 3?
You could. If you have a lot of faith that you can get 3rd and 3. If you don't get it, it might be something you could consider. And they're going to give it to Ramos instead. He's hit. He got clipped there, and we're trying to catch the number here from Ouachita Baptist, but a nice job as
Mark
Ramos.
Roll was locked up with the guy from 92 that is Ernest Reed, and that kind of blew up the play because he kind of just was right in there and clipped Ramos.
So Ramos only got right back to the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play, so that brings up 3rd and 3. This is a big situation. You don't want to give Ouachita Baptist the ball right back, and we're kind of in this full house pistol formation, as it looks like Zach Walker, that is, Carlson, and Ramos all in the backfield with Spady. A lot of different things you can do in this formation. And they're going to give it to Carlson. He gets to the outside. Great block. Spady kept it. He fooled everybody, including me. Walker's throwing a great block out here, and I'm thinking Carlson's getting close. And Spady kept it the whole time on the zone read. A fantastic read. And he is down at the 42-yard line in Ouachita Baptist territory. Fooled everybody.
Fooled pretty much everybody. SNU moving quickly, trying to keep the momentum.
They're still in this full house formation in the pistol set. 1 receiver to the right side, as well as a tight end in the game. As they look back to the sideline, we're getting close to 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Shaping up for what should be an exciting 4th. And they'll give it to Carlson again. Carlson to the right side. Good block there by Ramos, and he gets down to the 35-yard line, about a 7-yard gain.
Very, very good offensive possession right here. After the tough one last possession, SNU with the big plays, able to move across the field in chunks here as we in the third quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is going to end the third quarter. We're going to head to the fourth quarter. We've had an exciting one here in Bethany. Your score, Southern Nazarene 14, Ouachita Baptist 13. We will take a quick break and come back with the exciting conclusion here in the fourth quarter. You're listening to SNU Football here on SNUathletics.com. Beginning of the fourth quarter, SNU leads Ouachita Baptist 14-13. Joel Reagan, James Hill here with you from SNU Football Stadium.
James, you're still kind of smarting from that big Spady fake there. Faked everybody out,
Absolutely.
and SNU in a big position here.
As there will be the handoff there to Walker. Walker's going to break some tackles. He's going to the left side, and he got the first down. He'll be forced out at the 25 as he goes to the ground. No flag coming out, but a first down nonetheless for Nate Walker. And Nate picks up a first down here for SNU.
Kind of slung into the sideline there, and it's kind of borderline, but he didn't. It was not out. We didn't sling him when he was out of bounds, so no call. So first down for SNU.
And Joel, we talked about off air. This pistol set, this little full house pistol set, is giving Ouachita Baptist a lot of problems, and a little confusion here with the offense right now. As a pistol set again. Full house pistol set. That's at least what we're calling it. You don't see it very often. As a Spady sets. And there's going to be a flag on the play. I'm guessing they did not line up. Spady kept it, got it down to the 20, but this could be coming back. And go ahead, Joel.
Some quick stats for you as we work out the penalty. 8 carries, 58 yards for Spady.
It's going to be a legal formation. And you could see from the start there was some confusion.
Because Roloffs went on the field and then came back.
And then they just didn't get lined up correctly. And it goes to first and 15. And we said it. These are the type of things that can cost you drives.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns for Spady. Reese Carlson, 4 carries, 32 yards. Ramos, 4 carries, 8 yards. Zach Walker, 3 carries, 5 yards. Spady, 9 of 16, 73 yards. Long of 14 for SNU.
Well, and I'd like to see here as we face first and 15, I'd like to see SNU kind of stay in this pistol set. It's still giving Ouachita Baptist problems, and they are. Actually, Spady's going to keep it on the read option. He didn't fool me that time, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, a 5-yard gain for Spady.
Just get behind your preseason All-American Will House and try and get some yards, and he does. And so kind of makes up the difference. That'll bring up about a 2nd and 11, 10 and a half, I guess.
And they're gonna call it 2nd and 10 here. So back to the original line of scrimmage. And Spady working well in these zone reads as Walker, as well as Carlson and Ramos in this full house pistol set. Nate Walker, it's a play action. They're going to go deep towards the end zone, and he was looking. It was incomplete. They were looking for Jacoby Hicks.
Yeah, good
one-on-one.
Good defense there by Keandre Evans for Ouachita Baptist, and makes it 3rd down and 10 for SNU.
Credit here to Keandre Evans. He was on coverage there. He's done a nice job today at corner. He's made some nice plays. He's made some tackles, and he's done a good job in coverage. He was on one-on-one there, on an island there.
And they haven't gone to Hicks much. He only has two catches for 26 yards so far this season.
So back to this pistol set. You wonder, is this a situation where you run the ball? If you get 5 yards, you go for it. If you get within 5 or 6 yards, do you go for it no matter what? Carlson's going to take the handoff. Actually, no, it'll be kept by Spady, and he is hit hard there by number 32, Elijah Jones, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Also in on that tackle, number 56, Damian McDonald, and that, maybe not as good of a read there by Spady. And that will bring back maybe a 4th and 11.
And it's just, I think, just a little bit at a field goal range with the wind blowing. So SMU is going to have to go for it.
And it started to kind of blow a little more too. Kind of a no man's land here. You have to go for it, and it's tough too. 4th and long here.
Well, you got to think in this situation you're going to be looking for number 11 as he lines up towards our end. Spady shotgun formation, 2 receivers each side. Play clock's down to 2. They do get it off. Spady looking, he fires, and nobody there. It's actually going to be intercepted. Actually, probably should have let that one go because now that's going to cost them about 7 yards.
And it'll be a touchback.
It is going to be a touchback. It was intercepted. I want to say it was Shaquille Hunter who picked it off.
I don't know if that was what you wanted to do or not because I'm trying to think of where Spady was throwing the ball there. Was he throwing it to try and almost like a punt? I don't know.
It worked out because it lost about 7 yards there for Ouachita Baptist. They're going to be 1st and 10 at the 20 as opposed to 1st and 10 at the 27.
Because where he threw it, there were 2 Ouachita Baptist defenders, and there wasn't a Crimson Storm receiver anywhere in the area.
Maybe some confusion
there must have been a route or something.
On the route running. Regardless, though, it is 1st and 10 here for Ouachita Baptist, down 14-13, 12:20 to play here in the 4th. And Wofford's going to line up with Oliver in the backfield. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers now to the left. Wofford back to pass, and it's dropped by Drew Harrison. I think that's going to be an illegal motion. You know, it was something we talked about earlier. We saw it earlier in the game with Nate Walker.
Right.
Came in motion and then kind of took up the field too early. I think Ouachita Baptist did the exact same thing in this situation.
Right in front of the linesman, so he threw the flag right away.
We'll see. We'll get the call here. And that's exactly what it's going to be, an illegal shift. And it looked like it was number 7, Jerry Moorhead, came in motion. And he just started, you know, you kind of see in the Canadian League where they go back and then run forward. Kind of in the same situation. He started running forward before he could.
Not the CFL. We're not 110 yards here. And,
nope.
It's a little bit different here in America.
So that's – and the penalty is actually declined on the drop. Interesting call there. They declined the penalty, so it'll be
down.
2nd and 10. Yeah, they're just going to take the drop. And a drop by Drew Harris, which I would imagine does not happen very often for the playmaker from Ouachita Baptist.
I have a feeling Andy Lambert, if that was a catch, he would probably be taking the penalty.
2nd and 10 here for Ouachita Baptist. Warford back to pass. It's going to be a drag route, and it's going to be caught by Freeman. Freeman's going to get enough here on the 1st down as he makes a couple of men miss, and 1st and 10, Ouachita Baptist.
I think we'll see a lot more of that drag route. That's been successful for Ouachita Baptist. SNU has not really been able to defend that well. That's a 1st down again. You know, really the drag route and running up the middle, that's kind of the recipe for Ouachita Baptist.
And it seems like SNU has been playing a lot more man in this game, and a drag route's a great way to counter that man coverage. It's very hard to cover somebody when they're running 30 yards across the field. As they're back to this pistol formation, Oliver in the backfield. He takes the handoff to the right side. He's got a little room, and he's finally dragged down after picking up a 1st down at the 47-yard line. Nice run there by Oliver.
I think Josh Jordan finally made the tackle, but not always great when your safety's making the tackle after a big gain. So once again, here we go. Can SNU stiffen up front and get some stops?
Right back, pistol formation, 2 tight ends, the bread and butter that has worked all day for Ouachita Baptist. Oliver again, this time picks up maybe 3, tackled around midfield. And
some extracurricular stuff, some pushing and shoving.
A little pushing and shoving after the play. SNU fans are clamoring for a flag, but no flag thrown. They let it go, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
Be really careful with that, because what you really don't want right now is some kind of unsportsmanlike conduct. You're in a big battle here in this big. You do not want to give them some extra yards.
Got to keep the emotions in check, especially late in the game of a close ball game. So shotgun now formation here for Ouachita Baptist. Still 2 tight ends in the game. Wofford's going to hand it off to Oliver again. Oliver tries to cut up, but gets maybe a yard. It looks like both Jordan and I'm tackling Zach Lloyd both got in there. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Jordan, a 5'8", 155 sophomore from Mansfield, Texas, and Zach Lloyd from Bartlesville, former Bartlesville Bruin up in northeastern Oklahoma.
Another big 3rd down coming up here for SNU. 10-15 to play here in the 4th. Shotgun formation. Wofford back to pass. We're looking at that drag route. It's caught. Jordan actually breaks it up. What a play. As they were looking again, that drag route that's worked so well with Allie Freeman. Josh Jordan was right there to break it up.
What a play by Jordan right there. Staying with it, staying with his man, keep knocking the ball out. And that's huge for SNU. Brings up 4th down and 2.
And believe it or not, this is the first punt of the game
for
Ouachita Baptist. And they're down 14-13. As it's going to be Shelton Woolley. And you got to play it safe here, which SNU is, making sure this could be a situation where they try to fake it.
Right.
So being very careful as Woolley's going to take it. And he sends the punt high into the sky. And it's going to go down. They're going to try to keep it out of the end zone, but they cannot. And it'll be a touchback.
Worked out perfectly for SNU as a touchback, and they'll take over after the timeout. 14-13 SNU over Ouachita Baptist. 9:57 left. It's SNUathletics.com.
9:57 left to play here in the fourth quarter. SNU leads Ouachita Baptist 14-13. You know, we talked about it before halftime, how, you know, one of these long drives that results in points would be really nice. I think in this situation, SNU really wants to try to control this clock.
Can you prescribe that,
well,
Dr. Hill?
It worked. It worked earlier, but I don't know if it'll work this time. The one we're talking about was a 12-play, 69-yard drive that took up 6:54.
I'm fine with that if you can make that work.
Spady's going to be in this full house set with the pistol formation. Penalties have been the key in the second half. The offense has put together some great drives, but penalties have derailed these drives a few times now.
Let's see if the pharmacist can read your handwriting.
Yes. There was a play fake. Nobody was there, but Spady takes it anyways, and they'll get a couple yards. Forced out of bounds. It was actually pushed by Evans. Maybe
Zach Miller.
It was Miller, actually, okay, and maybe got a little lucky that no Laundry on the field for that one, as it's a 3-yard gain.
Jacob Spady kind of a fake and nobody there. He goes, oh, okay, never mind. I guess I'm going to run it. So some communication. These things are tough. These are things you don't want to have. You want to have people in the right positions and trying to make plays.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7 here for the Crimson Storm. They're in the same kind of full house pistol set, but I've noticed Walker's a little bit, he's about another yard to the outside as opposed to what they've kind of been running. So this could be a little different, as it's going to be a zone read. Spady trying to get outside, and he gets nothing there, as it's number 35, Parker Witt, on the tackle.
Yeah, not much going for Spady right there. Witt not fooled. Brings up kind of a 3rd down and about 6 for SNU, and this is what SNU needs, a big 3rd down conversion here to keep this drive going. Like you said, 8:58 and counting. SNU really needs to get a long, sustained drive that ends in 6.
You also have to be smart as well, though. Your defense is playing a great game.
Sure.
You don't want to put anything that will, be a quick turnover here for Ouachita Baptist.
Just want to try and flip the field, though.
Absolutely. Man comes in motion here for Spady. He's back to pass. Roll-offs with the catch. He's got the 1st down, and he's finally down at the 35. Beautiful play call. Roll-offs just set up right at the 1st down marker, made the catch, and then fell forward for a few more yards.
Exactly what you want. Read roll-offs using that 6'5" frame to make the catch. And
5th
move
catch of the day.
Sticks. 5th catch of the day, and he is probably Spady's favorite target on the field. And right there on a big 3rd down, he makes the catch.
When you're 6'5", that's got to be a quarterback's dream. I would probably say on the Ouachita Baptist side, they feel the same way with their 6'6" receiver. You got somebody that size, you just got to love that you can throw it up to somebody like that.
You don't coach 6'5".
Exactly.
You get 6'5".
Shotgun formation here for Spady. 2 receivers to each side. Carlson's going to come in motion. They're going to hand it off to Walker. Walker to the outside, and he's got nowhere to go as he's dragged down by Luke Holt. He's got to be careful there. He kind of got in his face and let him know that he was there. I tell you, the refs, it's fine. They're letting a lot go, because you can see a lot of jawing kind of back and forth now, and that could be, again, close game like this can be costly.
And what you really don't want, and Will House right now is on the other side over Ouachita Baptist, you really don't want for your SNU to be involved in any of that. Go and make plays, because it's always the second man. If something happens, just go and make plays, because what you don't want right now is to shoot yourself in the foot with some dumb penalty.
Absolutely.
You can't affect what Ouachita Baptist does.
And Ouachita Baptist needs to watch themselves, too, being down by 1. You don't want a dumb penalty costing you on the other end. As back to pass, it will be a screen, almost intercepted. It went through the hands of Zach Walker, and then Holt almost came away with it. He wasn't looking for it, but it went off of him, and that's going to be a 3rd down.
I think Mark Rolt, too, trying to make a block, almost kind of knocked Holt away from it. So that was unfortunate. That ball was kind of flying in the air with a lot of white jerseys around. Instead, it's 3rd down and 12. Big 3rd down, but it's 3rd down and long for Southern Nazarene.
3rd and 12 here for Southern Nazarene. Again, you want to be smart here, but you also want to keep this drive going. As Spady again, shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side. Carlson's going to come in motion. They're going back to pass, looking, a lot of pressure, and it's going to be almost intercepted. That was the dangerous throw we were kind of talking about, almost. A lot of danger there, but it falls harmlessly to the ground, and it's 4th down.
Trying to find Reese Carlson on the sideline. Tevin Jones and Keandre Evans were the defenders, and Reese thought he might have a chance. Instead, it's going to be an Anguiano punt. Remember, Anguiano now punting against the wind here.
It looks like it may have died down a little bit.
But it's still kind of, I think it's still blowing pretty well.
And then, of course,
so we'll see what Anguiano can do with the punt.
Allie Freeman back deep. You
At
can
the
tell
35-yard line.
a little bit of a dangerous returner here. Randall gets the snap, sends
There
it
we
off. Good punt. Freeman's going to take it. No fair catch called, and he probably should have there because he's hit right away.
Jordan.
Josh Jordan on the tackle. He's been everywhere today.
Great play by Josh Jordan right there. Not this great open field tackle, and that's big for SNU. 14-13, 6:52. We got a timeout, looks like
Timeout
on the field, and it's 14-13 SNU. This is SNUathletics.com.
Back here at SNU Football Stadium, 14-13 your score. SNU leading Ouachita Baptist 14-13. 6:52 on the clock. Warford's going to start in shotgun formation, 2 receivers each side. Oliver in the backfield. Warford's going to go back to pass. Blitz coming, looking. Good catch there. What a throw to Drew Harris. Harris got a lot of room. He's down the middle of the field. He cuts to the outside. He may take this all the way. 10, 5, touchdown. We'll see what the call is. Touchdown, Ouachita Baptist. One play, just like that.
Wow.
What a play.
I think trying to jump the route was Angel Hernandez, somebody up the middle, and then instead it's Harris and
the playmaker.
the playmaker. We talked about it. We really haven't seen some from him, but boy, that hurts. 19-14 now, pending the extra point.
And actually, they're going to stay on the field and go for two
Go for
here.
two.
It was a 67-yard throw and catch with Harris catching it and doing a lot of the work, making a lot of nifty moves, and taking it all the way for 6. So Warford's going to get in shotgun here. Oliver in the backfield. And nobody is covering the receiver out here. They're going to blitz. And Wofford's going to take it, and he gets into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. And with 6:35 remaining, it is now a touchdown lead for Ouachita Baptist at 21-14.
21-14, yeah, exactly. And SNU with some adversity, they've responded well on the road in the fourth quarter here to adversity, but can SNU do that here at home?
And, you know, not to read the room too much because anything can happen, but you can kind of feel the air is just kind of deflated out of the stadium. You know, it's kind of been, you know, bend don't break, had some big plays, some big stops, and now they finally got the big play to go ahead. And it's now, like you said, now what does SNU do to respond? This is the first time they've had a deficit today.
Absolutely. This is the first time that Ouachita's led the ball game, and I really kind of even see from the sideline a little bit that not a lot of jumping around, hey, let's go. So we'll see here. But, you know, it's really, you know, this offense, SNU's offense, been able to have plenty of time to score. You know, it's just what you ordered earlier but didn't get because they couldn't read your handwriting on the prescription. You know, a 6-minute drive and a score. So SNU needs to have a long drive, get a score, knot this ball game up at 21.
Yeah, as Antley gets ready to kick it off, and if you're SNU, there's 6:35 on the clock. You don't have to change what you've been doing. You just stick with what you've been doing, what's been working for the game, and see if you can get back down the field and even this game back up. So Antley's going to get set to kick off. Davis and Gillis back deep. Hey, we've had some wild ones this year with SNU, especially on the road. We may be seeing one at home today, as that kick by Davis is going to go all the way to the end zone. As you can see, wind's still playing a factor, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for SNU at the 25-yard line.
All I want to see is an SNU score and then some kind of crazy onside kick because I've been told they can do that very well.
Oh, well, there you go.
They did that very well on the road, so we'll see what happens here. The Crimson Storm starting a drive here is 6:35 left.
And so it'll be
in the fourth.
1st and 10 here. Spady's going to come out. He's going to start in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers to each side, so a little bit of a different look here. And And so Spady set to go here. He'll check to the sideline. 6:35 remaining in this game. Ouachita Baptist takes its first lead of the game. Walker in motion. And they'll get it out to Zach Walker. Nice one-handed catch. And he's trying to find some room, and he gets about a yard. He looked like it's going to be about a 5-yard loss, and he gets forward and maybe gets a yard or two.
That's a tough play right there to execute. There's just a lot of white shirts at the line of scrimmage or getting close to into penetration. Not a lot of room to run there after the catch.
And let me tell you,
the catch was about 2 yards behind line of scrimmage.
I was going to say it was a good catch by Davis, because if he does not catch that is a fumble. It looked like it was definitely a backwards lateral as opposed to a pass. So it's going to be 2nd and 9, though. As again, to look to the sideline. Clock is running. We're under 6 minutes.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Play clock.
Crimson Storm with 2 timeouts. We mentioned earlier how they took one. Spady back, and there was movement. Somebody flinched. One of the receivers. I didn't catch which one. But one of them flinched right before the snap, and it's going to be a false start. Caught it right out of the corner of my eye right before the play started. And again, it seems like the offense have had some confusion. I saw Carlson looking, in and was a little confused about what was happening. And some simple things like lining up have been. At
this point, you've just got to be able to execute and be able to be in the right place at the right time and go execute instead of the other guy. And SNU's not able to line up and be in the right place. And these penalties hurt because now it's 2nd down and 14 from the 21.
3 receivers to the right of Spady in the shotgun formation. Roll-offs to his left, and they're going to burn a timeout, and that is brutal there.
Once again, you got a timeout coming out of a stoppage of play with a penalty. I just don't understand how that happens.
And that could prove to be costly. We're going to take a quick break. 21-14, Ouachita Baptist leads SNU. You are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. Out of the timeout. 2nd and 14. SNU in their own territory, sitting at their own 21. Down by a touchdown with 5:19 remaining. We've seen some wild endings, as I've said, this season with the Crimson Storm. Can they keep the magic going here? As Walker comes in motion, Spady back to pass. It's going to be a screen pass to Ramos. Ramos trying to get up the field. Gets a good gain there of about 8. And he'll get out to around the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 6. That's kind of the first time we've seen Ramos right there with much, besides running up the middle and not getting much. So nice little change of pace, I guess. And SNU trying now to pick up this 3rd down, which they've struggled throughout this year on 3rd down.
3rd and 6. Spady again back to pass, looking, and it is caught, and we'll get out to around the 45-yard line. Caught by Hicks, as Hicks gets his first catch of the game. 1st down, SNU.
Only 3rd catch for Hicks all season, had only 26 yards, 6'3", 188 junior from Tulsa, and a great play to pick up that 1st down for Southern Nazarene.
It was a great job. He just found the opening in the defense and just sat right there, made the catch, and then was able to get a few yards up the field. Again, nice job there by Hicks. Bunch set here to Spady's right in a pistol set. Wonder if roll-offs, see if they'll keep trying to feed him here in this situation. He's already had a nice game with 5 catches. And they'll hand it off to Ramos. Ramos to the right side. He's got a little room. And Ramos may be close to the 1st down. And it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah.
A late hit out of bounds. It was number 5, Zach Miller. And they kind of been pushing that a little bit where it's been close, and they're gonna get burned on it this time.
First, before the penalty, great run by Ramos, keeping his feet moving, and then just a bad play right there by number 5, Zach Miller, the senior from Greenwood, South Carolina, and that helps SNU with the penalty.
So 15 yards going to be added to the run, and they were already in Ouachita Baptist territory just on the run alone. Now they're going to get deeper into territory as it looks like they will be spotted at the 29-yard line.
And that was not borderline. He had him out of bounds and drove him into the ground.
Yeah, that's the
that
key.
was not borderline.
He drove him. He didn't try to hold up. He drove him.
Right, exactly.
And that's an easy call, frankly, for a referee.
Absolutely, and it benefits SNU.
And we're down to 4 minutes here in this game. 3 receivers to the right of Spady, 1 to the left on an island. Spady looks to his right. He's got nothing, and he fumbles the ball. It is fumbled, and Spady had no idea. He just couldn't decide what to do with the ball. It looks like it's going to be recovered by Luke Holt, and it is a turnover.
Hit from the blind side. Just didn't know he was there. And
and on a quick pass like that, you can't hold it like that. Either you got to make the throw or you got to throw it away. You can't sit there and hold it on a bubble screen.
Well, we talked about not having turnovers, and we had that interception that Spady threw in the end zone, which was almost like a punt. But right now, the turnover bug bites SNU at the absolute worst time, trailing by a touchdown. Now, we'll have, Ouachita Baptist will have decent field position here with 3:48 left, and we've seen they only took him 1 play last time to score.
Well, I imagine this time when they're in at pistol set, 2 tight ends, and they're going to be handing it a lot here to Oliver. And he's going to take the first carry to the right side. He's got a lot of room. He's right up the middle. He's over midfield. He's still going into SNU territory, and finally down at the 37-yard line. A great run there by Chris Oliver, number 1.
And that's just somebody who wants it right there. Keep his feet moving, lots of contact, and a big gain on the first play of the possession. And now they're inside SNU territory.
And they're now in a situation they could possibly, granted they're going to run some clock, but if they even get in field goal range, if they want to try it, they could extend this lead to 10.
Absolutely. Make it a 2-possession ball game, make it pretty far out of reach for Southern Nazarene.
So you mentioned the onside kicks if it comes to it. But before we get there, we are in a shotgun formation, and it looks like it is a handoff here to Oliver. Oliver not a lot of room this time, and he gets about 2 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 8.
We'll see a lot of this, but, even these kind of up-the-gut runs have turned into big plays for Ouachita Baptist. So, and either way, there's not a whole lot going right for SNU right now. You make a big stop, the clock keeps running. You don't make a big stop, and it could be a 14-point lead. So the turnover huge, and Southern Nazarene in a tough spot right here, and nothing much they can do. And that second timeout being burned.
That hurts.
SNU
That's the one that probably
has
hurts the most. As you have 2 timeouts right now, you're still okay, but now you only have 1, and it's going to be the pistol set. 2 tight ends, Oliver in the backfield. I can tell you he's probably going to get the ball here, and he will. He goes to his right side, and he's got some room. He's going to be dragged down around the 31-yard line, and we're going to get a timeout here from Southern Nazarene with this big 3rd down coming up.
Okay, so that's your final timeout. You got to get a stop here, and you're in a point now, too, where you could have a field goal and make it a 2-possession ball game. With about 2 minutes left, you get the football back. So, the first thing right here is you got to get a stop. You sort of maybe have to get a turnover, which you haven't been able to really force all game. But if you're Ouachita Baptist, you're going to keep doing the same thing, keeping it real conservative, go up the gut.
I was going to say, they could put 11 guys in the box.
Right.
I think you keep doing what you've been doing.
Right.
That's what's been successful
now,
all game.
However, Ouachita Baptist at times has decided they wanted to get cutesy.
Well, and sometimes I get the thought process of, hey, if they're going to put 8, 9, 10 in the box, then, hey, why don't we throw the ball here? But in this situation.
But either way here, you win because the clock runs or you make a big gain up the middle. So I think either way, we're going to see Ouachita Baptist stay real conservative, and SNU's just got to hope for something to happen, a ball getting jarred loose here.
And if SNU, the interesting thing, Ouachita Baptist, you're 3rd and 3, say they get a yard or 2 here and they face 4th down. I'm not saying they should, but you consider maybe going for it to end the game, though I think you do a short punt and try to pooch them down inside the 10, but I'm not the coach.
And Ouachita Baptist hasn't converted a 4th down yet. We'll see how they do here on 3rd and 3.
So pistol formation, Oliver in the backfield. Again, I don't think you need many. Well, he's going to go to the shotgun formation now, but I still think they may go Oliver here with 2 tight ends. They're going to bring motion, and it's a nice fake there, but they're not going to get it. I just don't understand, as they're going to be down at the 30-yard line short. It was that Wofford faked the jet sweep to Freeman and then ran to the left side. It just
However, the clock continues to
The
run.
clock continues to run. That's the main thing, but it's going to be 4th down. And what does Ouachita Baptist do here?
Well, you drain the play clock right here. You
And
drain
then
some
you take a
time off, and
timeout.
you take a timeout.
At the end of the day, no matter what, Southern Nazarene is a long way to go if they get the ball back.
You know, well, either way, with the way that they've been running the football, you know, if it's a 4th and 1, maybe it's a 4th and 2 here. It's 1 extra yard. I don't know, but it looks like that. I don't know what they're going to do after they call this timeout. Either way, SNU's hurt because that clock is running down.
And the timeout will come at 1:22. They literally called it with less than a second left. They really bled the clock well. And we're going to take a quick break. This is SNU Football on SNUathletics.com. .122 remaining in the game. Ouachita Baptist leads Southern Nazarene 21-14. So, Joel, what do you do in this situation?
I think you, gosh, I don't know. I think you go for it here. This has been they have successfully run the ball up the gut all game long, and I think this is what you do. You put 11 men in the box.
Well,
and
and looks like they're going to take your advice. They are going for it. 2 tight ends in the game. Shotgun formation. Freeman in motion. And it's going to be a run to the right side. It's going to be close. I think Wofford did get it. It is very close. He's right at the first down mark. We're going to get a measurement.
They're going to measure this.
It was close. He was right there, but it was a fake the jet sweep and run to the right side.
Oh, he's got it. I think he's got it. I'm looking around the referee here. I think that
I think they're just measuring to make sure at this point.
Yeah, I think they are too, but the yellow line is unofficial, of course, but which we don't have. But I think he's got it.
And there's no replays here, by the way, no matter what.
That's right.
This cannot be challenged.
We're not going to
go
under
on the
field
field stands.
We're not going to go under the hood to New York.
And waiting to extend the chain. He got it.
He got it.
First down, Ouachita Baptist, and they will take this win here in Bethany.
He got it by about half a football. Once again, didn't go up the middle, though. Kind of went outside, but it worked out for him.
It worked out that first heck of a time to get your first 4th down conversion in the game.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They had tried all these 4th down conversions. They've only punted once, right?
Yes, one time today.
One time, and they may not have to punt again.
They're going to escape Bethany with the late touchdown to win the game. They'll set up to kneel the ball. So unless we have a crazy situation, this is going to be the final. And there's the kneel from Wofford. I believe he will have to do it just one more time. Maybe 2 more times. Nope, one more time. One more kneel coming up.
So if you're SNU, you're going on the road next week against the really good Arkansas Monticello team, who's, also 3-3, but has played well so far this year in the season. Tough loss, second tough loss at home. And really, this was the closer one than last week.
I mean,
obviously.
late lead, 14-13, definitely had a chance.
So what do you take from this if you're SNU here?
Well,
going back on the road, your friend, I guess, right?
You get ready for the road, the Road Warriors, if you will, at 3-0 this season. But, you know, the good you have to take in is you started fast today.
Yeah,
you got out. You played a great first half. You jumped all over a really good football team in Ouachita Baptist, and you gave yourself a chance to win. However, on the opposite side, and they will run out the clock, the kneel was good. And so Ouachita Baptist will win 21-14 here at SNU Football Stadium. But the part is, you know, we talked about earlier in the contest about finishing your drives, finishing, you know, and they've had some games that they finished this year, but they just couldn't finish this one today against a really good club.
And this time it ends up being a turnover, the blindside fumble there. Spady trying to find somebody, didn't. And really, you know, it wasn't only finishing too, it was the change in the second half. penalties
were
mistakes
killer.
really hurt Southern Nazarene, and that's got to be cleaned up. And a lot of them were penalties that you just here in week number 7 you can't have, where guys aren't lined up right, guys don't know where they're supposed to be, that type of thing. And that, I'm sure Andy Lambert is not happy about that, because those are things by week 7 here you've got to be able to be in the right position.
You got to take some positives from this, because Ouachita Baptist is a good team that just went to 5-2 this year. They've had some good wins. They played really good games against some of the top competition in the GAC. So you got to at least take some positives that, hey, we had a chance to win this game, but at the same time you also have to say we had a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they did.
And we've got to find a way to finish these games against really good teams. And I think they have a lot to be proud of, a lot to keep their heads up. And at the end of the day, one big play is what killed them.
Absolutely. One big play, and I think as well trying to kind of shore up. I think teams have decided, hey, we can run up the middle against these guys. Not sure what we're going to see against Monticello, obviously, but I think teams that can run the ball against SNU up the middle have been able to find some success. And some teams will stick with that until SNU stops them. And we'll see some more of that probably in the next couple weeks as well.
I think if you're the SNU defense, you've got to be happy with the way you played. You had some bend don't break moments, but you found ways to get stops. Even though they punted one time, but you found ways to get stops. You found ways to come up with big plays, at least with turnovers on down. So you got to be pleased with that. I thought secondary played really well today and got some key stops. And then they got to be able to shore up in the middle, though, because obviously, as you said, Ouachita Baptist was able to kind of do what they wanted when they ran up the middle. I had some questionable things where they tried to go outside, and SNU did a very good job running that down. On the other end for the SNU offense, again, great first half. You moved the ball, I thought, pretty well most of the game.
Right.
It goes back to finishing drives, as we said. You did a great job with it in the first half. The second half, penalties when you're in Ouachita territory that could result in points, whether it's field goals or touchdowns, that just didn't happen, and it proved to be costly.
Crimson Storm travel to Arkansas Monticello next Saturday, so they'll have a little bit more time with the short week this week. 3 o'clock kickoff, and of course, our next broadcast coming up on the next weekend, the 28th. Northwestern Oklahoma State University coming in from Alva. The Rangers coming in with a very electric offense, and they will be coming in here to Bethany. That is a 4 o'clock kickoff, by the way, 4 o'clock.
Maybe cooled off by then. So.
Maybe a little cooler there on October 28th, closer to Halloween and such. But SNU with 2 more chances for a home win. Northwestern coming up, and then, of course, to finish the regular season against Oklahoma Baptist on the 11th of November. And, of course, we'll have both those home broadcasts right here at SNUathletics.com.
Well, and a couple final thoughts. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. Your first 3 games, you got to win in there, and then you had 2 just, blowout losses, and those were tough losses against very quality opponents. Since then, though, now your last 4 games you're looking at, you're 2-2. You've played some really good competition really, really well that you could have come away with wins possibly. And so I think just with this team, the confidence continues to rise, and hopefully they can pick up a couple more wins as the year goes on. But that confidence has to be feeling good in the locker room, even with tough losses like this.
Absolutely. Let's try and look at a few stats here as we kind of wrap up the broadcast here at SNUathletics.com. 19 first downs for Ouachita Baptist, 16 for Southern Nazarene, 209 rushing yards for Ouachita Baptist, 122 for SNU. Passing yards, 222 for Ouachita Baptist, 112 for SNU. 16 of 25 for the Tigers in the air, 13 of 24 for SNU. The 1 pick for Spady as he was throwing it in the end zone. 431 yards for Ouachita Baptist as opposed to 234 for Southern Nazarene. 6.63 yards a play for Ouachita Baptist. A lot of those, of course, also that big play there, that big run there in the second half kind of added to that a little bit. 4.33 for SNU. Other of notes, 3 kick returns for 46 yards. Only 1 kick return for Ouachita Baptist for 5 yards. Punt returns, not a whole lot going on. 0 for SNU. They only punted once, Ouachita Baptist did. 2 punts for 7 yards for the Tigers. That 1 interception, it was a touchback. SNU, 2 fumbles, and the big one, the big loss there on Spady on the backside hit. And then the penalties, 7 54-56 for SNU.
That was 5 in the second half.
Yes, that's right. And then 7 for 74 for Ouachita Baptist.
2 in the second half for them.
Absolutely.
Big difference.
They big difference in those ball game. It looks even on the stat sheet, but it's not. 4 punts, 35.8 yards for Anguiano, punting against the wind a bunch of times. A great punt for Ouachita Baptist, 1 at 48. Time of possession, actually SNU wins that battle, 30 minutes, 12 seconds for SNU, 29-48 for Ouachita Baptist. The equalizer there, the turnover in some of the penalties. Third down, 5 of 12 for SNU, 50% for Ouachita Baptist, 7 of 14. 1 of 2 for SNU on fourth down, 1 of 4 for Ouachita Baptist.
Big one at the end.
Big one at the end. They'll take it. And let's look at some of the offense here for Southern Nazarene.
So we'll start with the Southern Nazarene offense. Spady finishes the day 13 of 24 with an interception, 112 yards through the air, long pass of 18 yards. On the ground, Spady 13 carries, 58 yards, a pair of touchdowns. Carlson 4 carries for 32 yards. Ramos 5 carries for 17 yards. And the Walkers, Nate with 4 for 11 yards, Zach Walker 3 carries for 5 yards. On the receiving core, Roloffs goes 5 catches for 47 yards. Zach Walker, that is, adds 4 catches for 28 yards. And then a slew of receivers with only 1 catch in Hicks, Brady, Ramos, and Carlson. For the Ouachita Baptist offense, Warford finishes the day 15 of 24, 224 yards passing, and a touchdown, including that huge 67-yard score. Oliver finishes the day with 18 carries for 99 yards. Wofford, 7 carries for 53 yards. Thomas, 7 carries for 33 yards. Harris, 5 carries for 19 yards. Harris also had 5 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown. And yes, that was the big 67-yard run and score, or catch and run, I should say. Freeman, 8 catches. Freeman, 8 catches for 69 yards. McElroy, 2 catches for 54 yards. Defensively, Jordan led the way for SNU, 9 tackles. Stevens also added 9 tackles on the day. Harris and Hanson each had 8. Roll with 6 tackles and a tackle for loss for the Ouachita defense. Jones with 7 tackles. Miller with 6 tackles. Hunter and Jones with 5 tackles each, including a tackle for loss. And Holt had the big fumble recovery to kind of seal the win for him on the day. And so your final 21-14. Ouachita outscored Southern Nazarene 11-0 in the second half to come away with the victory.
Kind of the opposite, because SNU had been such a great second half team and not as good of a first half team. But SNU with the loss falls to 3-4 and 5-2. Ouachita Baptist, the Tigers, improved to that. Next broadcast coming up October 28th, 4 o'clock kickoff. Just remember, 4 o'clock kickoff here at SNU Football Stadium here in Bethany. SNU and Northwestern Oklahoma State. The Crimson Storm heading to Monticello, Arkansas, take on Arkansas Monticello coming up next Saturday. That kickoff is going to be at 3 o'clock. Final thoughts?
We'll see how it plays out. The Road Warriors are back on the road again, and we look forward to when they do come back home to see if they can get their first home win of the season. I think lots of improvements, though, and I think there's a lot to learn from this game, but there's a lot to keep your head up and as you try to kind of piece that full game together at home.
John Hale, thanks for everything. He always doing a great job as well. Lizette Casas helping us as well on the camera. And James Hill, appreciate it. And good to see you again. And I'm Joel Reagan. And final score again, 21-14, Ouachita Baptist over Southern Nazarene. From SNU Football Stadium in Bethany, thanks for joining us and have a great night.